everyone, and welcome to another live marathon. I am Captain Logan, and joining me tonight, of course, is more than meets the eye, Eric Holden.
I'm Eric.
Yay! It's Eric!
I thought we were finally doing the spoiler cast on last night.
Wait, what?
No, I'm making a joke.
I don't know what that means, though. The spoiler cast.
Transformers last night.
Oh, I thought you
were like, we need a spoiler cast.
I thought you said no. I didn't. I'm sorry. I'm catching up now.
Can we start over?
No, clearly not. It's live. I thought you're like the spoiler cast on last night. I was like, what happened last night that we need to do a spoiler cast on? Tonight we're just going to talk about our adventures last evening, and we'll give you a spoiler cast on all that. But we'll only talk about the things in the comments that you guys want us to talk about.
I got home from work real late, and I watched an episode of The Strain. And we walked to the grocery store.
We did. We walked to the grocery store, and they didn't have any sandwiches.
Nope.
So you weren't able to get a sandwich, and I got a Butterfinger. And send out Patreon packages. Anyway, folks, thanks a lot for watching. If you're watching live, thanks for checking us out after the fact. If you're doing that tonight, we're going to spend about 3 hours with you, and we are going to watch through some of Transformers Prime.
The plan is the first 5-parter and the ending 4-parter, but it's technically a 3-parter in one episode, so depending on time, we might just do that ending 3-parter. But that's the plan, is to do the beginning and ending of the season.
But we're going to at least do that first 5-parter and that last 3-parter. So this is a show that Eric has seen. I don't know how well you know this show.
I've watched through all of it. I might have watched season 1 twice. It's a show I like a lot, but I haven't gone back to and rewatched through.
And I have seen the pilot, the first 5. In fact, according to Netflix, I've seen the first 8 episodes.
Oh, interesting.
Although I couldn't remember how far I had watched, and it was at least 2 years ago. So this is going to be kind of the flip of what we did with 60s Batman, where Eric's going to be the guy with any knowledge at all, and I'm kind of just going to be along for the ride. So that'll be kind of a fun reversal. We'll see how that goes, and I'm excited about it. I loved what I saw of this. So
yeah, it's really good.
I'm really excited. You guys are kind of potentially going to just be watching me watch television, honestly. These live marathons, if you're not familiar, if you don't know what we do here, are in celebration of reaching landmarks on Patreon, at least so far. We haven't done one of these just of our own accord yet. They've always been to celebrate that, and we have even one more to do after this here within the next couple weeks or so. We're also going to do a Power Rangers one, so look forward to that. But our audience from the 60s Batman one kind of helped us select Transformers, and I'm sorry, they helped us select Power Rangers. It was Patreon that chose Transformers based on a poll, and we decided to select Prime because it's a series that you can easily watch with us because it's on Netflix. And in fact, even though I'm holding this up, and I was like looking for this while I was holding it, even though I'm holding this up, we're going to actually watch this on Netflix as well along with you, and hopefully we don't have any buffering issues or anything, but weirdly, this set doesn't have subtitles, and that's really problematic because if we're going to talk about it while we're watching it, I have to be able to read the words. So we are gonna watch it on Netflix as well, as I'm sure a lot of you folks will too if you're watching it along with us. We'll do our level best to make this as entertaining and fun for you as possible, but it is going to be just us watching things with you, or you watching things with us. Anyway, and so quick plug for Patreon. We are sitting right now, Eric, at a little over $40 toward the next landmark, and if we hit it tonight, we're going to announce another marathon, and I think we should go ahead and just mention what it's going to be. Eric and I have decided to go ahead and pick the next one ourselves because there's a big anniversary this year that we so far have done nothing for or about yet, and the next marathon, if we hit that goal, there's going to be a Buffy Angel marathon, and Eric and I are going to pick some of our favorite episodes of both of those shows and do another 3 to 4 hour marathon for you on that. So that hopefully, I'm hoping we hit that. We will do some Buffy Angel stuff regardless a little bit later in the year, but we will do one of these live marathons for that if we hit the $400. If we get to that landmark this evening, patreon.com/geekvolution, if we hit that this evening, Eric and I are going to promise what we promised last time, but with a twist. And it'll be even more fun. And this was Eric's idea. Both of these were Eric's idea. Eric, what are we going to do if we hit that this evening?
We will perform Shakespeare in the original Klingon.
So we're going to do part of Hamlet together. I don't know what scene yet, but we'll find a scene, and we'll do a video, and we will perform Hamlet in Klingon. And I'm going to teach Eric how to speak Klingon, and we'll give you subtitles. But that's the plan. So if we hit that this evening, we will do the Shakespeare thing, but this time, not this time. We haven't done it yet. But it will be in Klingon. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and pull up the comments. And there's Vacuminator. Haven't seen him in a while. Hi, Vacuminator. Good to see you. Red Letter Antilles is in the comments. Nathan Snyder is there. Good to see you guys. Great Childs is there. How are you doing, sir? So we got a few people here to watch a little Transformers with us. And Eric, do we need any more Jay Carlson, good to see you. Do we need any more preamble before we go ahead and just get this show on the road?
I think so.
This is what, 2013, 14?
It's
12.
It's after 2 because there's a cycle with the Transformers films where 1 comes out and they put out Transformers Animated. Then, because they don't want too many toy lines on the shelves, when Transformers 2 comes out, they cancel Animated.
That's the only reason they canceled it.
And then Prime was the one in between 2 and 3.
Okay, and of course, this is famously produced by Ortiz Kursman, which often makes people go, "Well, how come they can't write good movies if they're producing a good TV show?" And the answer to that is they don't seem to be writing scripts with this.
No, it seems to be entirely idea guys. So.
Mm-hmm.
And they've got some good ideas.
But it's at least nice of them to let somebody just make a show.
Yeah.
So I mean, you got to give them credit for that. Somebody in the comments is asking me, let me just do a little bit of house cleaning real quick, folks, asking me if we have chosen our intern yet. We have chosen our intern, and I will announce that tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to make a big YouTube announcement or if I'm just going to put it on Facebook, but you will see him soon because I'm sure it won't be too long before he's moderating comments for us. If people don't know about the intern program, I didn't make a big announcement on YouTube because I mentioned it on Facebook and there were a bunch of people that were interested. So I thought this first time out, I would just go with social media because there were so many people that wanted to enter this thing. So if you're on YouTube and you don't follow us on social media and you feel kind of left out on that, don't worry because we're going to change the intern up every 3 months. So we have a new program that's our internship. It's an unpaid internship position, and you'll get to be on some live shows and help us out with some things. You'll get some FaceTime here and there, but primarily we need somebody to help us out with making playlists and with taking out some pictures for superhero movies and a lot of that kind of house cleaning stuff that makes my life a whole lot easier if I have somebody else help me out doing it. We had a bunch of interested parties. We had, I think, 17 videos of people.
Wow, that many?
Yeah, of folks doing the interview. I almost said audition. It's not really an audition, but we will open that up next time broader, and I'll make sure to make a video and let a lot more folks in on it. But I was inundated with messages from people, so I kept it a little bit closer to the vest and kept it just on Facebook and Twitter this first time out. But anyway, so next time we'll open it up a little bit wider, and there will be a chance for that every 3 months as long as that is going really well. So anyway, you will meet him tomorrow, and or you'll meet him sometime this week. But I will at least make an announcement on social media tomorrow about that. So anyway, let's go ahead and just get right into it, folks. So if you want to watch this with us, we're going to start again with the first episode. So go to Transformers Prime on Netflix or grab your DVDs if you have those, and make sure that you're watching the first episode. It's called Darkness Rising. We're watching the first part, and we will, of course, break in between each of these. I don't know, we'll have a big long break, but and there will probably be some kind of a break in the middle of this, like we did with 60s Batman. We'll probably have a little bit of a 5 or 10 minute intermission a little bit later, but we're not going to watch these, straight on through to the other side. So when we finish one, we'll have a quick break, and then I'll let you know when to start for the next one. So Transformers Prime, first episode. Everybody, do you have it geared up? Hope you have it geared up. We're going to get started right now. Here we go. 22 minutes and 17 seconds, Eric.
All right.
Here we go. Everybody, please press play right now.
So I know I probably already know the answer to this, but when this show comes out, do you know anything about, do you have any anticipation? Do you have any reaction? Or do you not know about this show really until you watch?
I discovered this existed when it came up on Netflix.
Okay. So, the initial pictures that came out for this, I was real critical of and real negative on. I thought the Transformers looked like they were the movie Transformers smashed with the animated Transformers, and I was real negative.
When you say animated, do you mean the original Transformers animated? Yeah,
that's how they looked to me initially. Was it's the movie and the animated style
Which, by the way, I saw my first episode of last week and liked a lot.
Yeah.
I saw the Weird Al episode. I thought
so.
It was great.
Cliff Jumper here. He's the red car. He is voiced by The Rock.
Oh, really?
And they made a big deal out of the fact that he was voiced by The Rock. It was a big announcement. And this opening sequence here with Cliff Jumper is what made me immediately fall in love with the show. I'm like, oh, okay, they're doing something. They're doing something a little bit different, a little special here.
Oh, and so they just got him for a cameo because if memory serves, he dies here, right?
Yes. Yes.
And
that's exactly
I'm assuming never comes back.
He comes back in a flashback episode.
Okay.
And as a zombie. But
now I will spoil things here and there that I know. That's probably all you'll hear me spoil. I remember that part. But I'm going to ask Eric not to spoil too much for me as we're watching because especially the later episodes we're going to watch tonight, I've never seen.
But so yeah, it was kind of a prank is the wrong word. It was no one knew that Cliff Jumper was dying. They made a big deal like Cliff Jumper was going to be one of the main characters. They got The Rock to voice him, and then immediately he's murdered.
Did that tick people off?
I think some people were annoyed by it. I loved it. I thought it was such a bold decision.
That's almost telegraphing it because somebody that big isn't going to be in a regular cartoon series, I wouldn't think. I mean, usually, like if The Rock voices someone in an animated movie or something, for video games and things, I would assume they usually have to go to sound-alikes. Like he's that big of an A-list actor.
So
Nathan Snyder says, Eric, the term is bait and switch.
Yes, that is what I'm looking for. One of the issues I do have with this show is the Viacons, which are these guys here. I don't like that the Decepticons basically have putties. I know why they exist. It is so. One, because it's CG animated, it's difficult to keep coming up with character models. You can't do it like you used to in the old days. Just keep introducing new characters.
Yeah.
So you have a consistent roster of bad guys, and the heroes have to beat someone so that they don't just keep beating the bad guys and make the bad guys look really incompetent. But I don't know. It's not Transformers-y to me.
Is that comic book panel thing a thing we do a lot in the show?
I think so.
Keep bringing that back?
I believe so. It's been a while since I watched it.
I think the animation of this looks really good.
I do too.
Somebody in the comments mentioned that one of the animators working on this also co-designed the Batman.
Oh, okay. Oh, I can see that completely.
See that,
yeah. Especially when we get to the humans. It's interesting. This is
Jay Carlson says he sees a Chipotle cup. No, actually, this is Fazoli's of all places. Yeah, my wife wanted, I guess, fast food Italian this evening. That's what we did.
This is the first show I ever heard people talk about that it's like an animated TV show that's worth getting in Blu-ray. That like you can really see a lot of detail and care and like scuffs and stuff.
Okay, apparently I was wrong. So the discs say 2012, but multiple people in the comments are corroborating 2010.
Okay,
that it started. Wow. This looks great.
Yeah.
2010.
I mean, look at that.
That's fantastic. I would go as far as to say I don't know that Ninja Turtles looks any better than this. I mean, that's only 2 years after this, but even later in that series, I don't know that it ever looks any better than what I'm looking at right now.
So
pretty cool.
Starscream is Stephen Bloom, who is a voice actor. He mostly does anime, but he does Wolverine in I think it's Wolf. No.
Gary Childs. Yes, that is my kid screaming. That is Freddy. He's upset upstairs apparently. I was hoping you guys couldn't hear that.
Scott McNeil is him in Wolverine. Or no, so Steve Bloom must be Wolverine and Wolverine the X-Men. He does it in the Marvel Ultimate Alliance. That's probably most likely what you would know him from. He's more famously Spike Spiegel in.
Yeah, and I mean, neither of those are things I've even spent a lot of time with. Wolverine the X-Men I saw one time, and
I think he might also do the X-Men Legends games.
Right, but I was also going to say, I mean, I played maybe 2 hours of that.
Okay.
I haven't spent a lot of time. But no, I spent a little bit more time with the first game, but I haven't played a lot of it.
He's kind of a big deal, especially in the anime community.
Chewbacca's Lover says that he's also Green Goblin in Spectacular.
He is Green Goblin Spectacular, and my favorite Steve Bloom is Roger Smith from Big O.
Somebody in the comments said that these scroll a little bit, and I just don't remember who it is. But it's Chewbacca's Lover again. Says that he thinks this looks way better than Ninja Turtles. I don't know if I agree with that. I think the animation in that is pretty decent. Just looking at what we're looking at right now, I think they're maybe on par. But
Jeffrey Combs.
That's the other big thing I remember about the show, and the thing that kept me going. Because I mean, I thought this first episode, dude, of this 5-parter, was pretty cool. But as soon as I heard Jeffrey Combs, I was like, oh boy, I got to keep watching this. And it's not just that it's his voice. Like, first of all, he's not doing a voice; he gets to just be Jeffrey Combs, and that's always exciting. And Jeffrey Combs is in the 3rd season of iZombie. I just started watching that last night to do a video on soon. I got really excited about that. He must be.
Oh, that's awesome.
He must be. Yeah.
So we got our first look at a Soundwave here. I love their Soundwave. Soundwave only speaks in audio clips from other people. He doesn't talk. He just uses other people's dialogue.
Which sounds a little bit movie Bumblebee, but it's cooler than that because it's not like pulling from radio, right? It's
it's other things people have said
already
so sometimes,
that we've heard.
Yeah.
Is it always stuff we've heard, or is it just stuff that you assume? Well, he must have recorded it from some other conversation.
So sometimes it'll just be relaying information, but like other times there's a point at some point where a character has said something talking about like they're going to betray someone. He plays it back to them just to be like, by the way, I heard you. He just plays the audio of them saying that they're going to be a traitor.
Wow, she's real cold.
Yeah. Well, her Cliffjumper is specifically her partner.
Okay. So she's like overcompensating, trying to live with it. Yeah.
This is also, I believe, the first Transformers that has RC as a main character since season 3 of the original series.
Her voice is great. I mean,
that's I believe it's Susan something. I want to say it's the voice actress who did RC in the first place, because she became a voice actor director. But I think we got her back for this. I can't remember. She's somebody.
Yeah, I did ask for not too many spoilers, folks, but Tobias Walker says that Soundwave talks in season 3.
Yes, he does.
And was wondering if you had seen that.
Yes. No, I've seen the whole thing. Although I was really out on season 3. I thought the thing with this show is people either seem to hate it and then think season 3 gets awesome, or like me, love the first 2 seasons and think season 3 is really boring.
Interesting. It's love it or hate it, but depending on where you're watching it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So this is the ghost town.
So you said people complain a lot about that. Now now you can imagine a town this small not having a lot of like you don't see a lot of small towns in things like this. Usually we go to cities, so that's kind of cool. But like you can imagine this at like, you know, just as the sun is going down, but you can't have it like this all the time.
Yeah. I want to say as the seasons go on, they get a little bit better with that as they get more budget. But like, it's really a budgetary thing. It's a constraint of a 3D animated property, especially when this came out.
Well, that was a big thing with the MTV Spider-Man show.
Yeah.
Pardon me. You know, in the early 2000s, and that's why I am baffled with the DC direct-to-video movies that they always do. Not always. Very often they do car chases specifically in CG. I don't understand that, specifically car chases, because you can't have any cars on the road.
Yeah.
That's when they cut to CG, is when you need to be able to have some cars on the road.
And this is crossing a line.
Hi, Nero Cole. He says he's just here to say hello.
So he sees a real cool motorcycle and he gets on it. Like he's like, oh man, it's a super cool motorcycle. And then he sits on it. That's crossing a line. That's not okay.
It is, yeah.
I mean, I don't like touching it's okay, but definitely not sitting on it.
And this is a stereotype, but a lot of motorcycles tend to be owned by people that could totally beat the tar out of you. Like I would be too, even if I was the kind of person that that like invaded people's space and stuff like that, I wouldn't do that because I'd be too like scared to.
She said scrap is kind of a swear word. That's a thing that starts in Beast Wars.
Oh.
There's a lot of that Transformers slang that sticks around that starts in Beast Wars.
Do we go to a lot of, I mean, do we do just a lot of like nods and things like that?
No, it's become part of the just kind of Transformers parlance.
So it's the lexicon.
Yeah. I think slag was another one.
So he sat on that because we needed that Transformer to drive him around.
Yes,
that's why. That's
exactly why it happened.
I mean, I don't know how else you could contrive that.
It's a little plot driven.
I mean, nobody owns it. I don't know how you'd get him on that, but. Chewbacca's Lover says Jack is voiced by John Keaton, who voices Spider-Man in Spectacular.
It's Josh Keaton. I don't know if he wrote it wrong or you read it wrong.
No, I just said it wrong. I know it's Joss Keaton too. I just said it wrong. Solar Dragon says Soundwave's design is awesome. You know, Soundwave is my wife's favorite Transformer.
I thought she was a Starscream person.
No, you're right. She is a Starscream person. Yeah,
because girls love Starscream.
Yeah. No, that's right. I knew that.
I didn't initially love Starscream's design in this.
Once again, I'm not a Transformers person. Sometimes I get those names confused when I'm not even thinking about what the characters look like. Yes, of course. Of course, it's Starscream.
The Starscream design.
Is that a thing? That girls like Starscream?
Yeah, that's a huge thing.
Really?
Girls love Starscream.
Okay. That's a Transformers.
That is a Transformers
female stereotype.
Yep.
Okay.
Girls like Starscream.
All right. And kids like Optimus.
Well, yeah. Well, Bumblebee nowadays.
But those are the ones they're most sold to.
Yeah. And this is just the car from the movie.
David Crabtree says Cap, we will make you a Transformers person. He's been trying for years now at this point. By the way, I should mention, I'm pretty sure it was Mr. Crabtree that sent us this. He sent us some other Transformers shows as well. I now own more than half of Transformers.
You own more Transformers than I do. Well, I used to own Prime, but I sold it at one point when I needed money.
The Huminator says he's going to break into my house, and you and him will give me a lecture on Transformers, which I'm sorry is just somewhat creepy.
At some point, we're going to do a vault on Last Stand of the Wreckers. I promise it's going to happen.
He's got a Transformers trade collection to choke a horse back there.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the one big thing that I'm missing is the trades for the Marvel stuff. I've got the Marvel UK stuff that they've been putting out, and I think I got to volume 4 or 5. They stopped for a couple of years, but
that David made earlier that I meant to bring up that I noticed too the first time I watched this, which is that the theme for this show is suspiciously close to the theme for the J.J. Abrams Star Trek movies, and yeah, it sounds real close. Yeah. Wow, those guys are cool.
So it used to be before.
Are these the putties?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, but their faces are kind of cool.
They are cool.
They're a little onslaughty. Mm-hmm. Or like Magneto during the Bendis run, who had kind of an Onslaught helmet, which I guess is why I'm saying that.
Or Boba Fett.
Onslaught Fett. Boba Onslaught Fett. I like that she calls him Cliff because it's like a normal person name.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun. Eric, what is your vehicle mode?
My vehicle mode?
Yeah. Yeah, like if you were a Transformer, what would your vehicle mode be?
Well, here's the thing. I know the answer to this because I've had this discussion with people.
Oh, of course. I would assume most Transformers fans have an answer to this question.
It'll mean nothing to you. If I was a Transformer, what I would want
to... That's okay. I opened the floodgates. I asked the question. Go ahead.
If I was a Transformer, what I would want to transform into is a Metal Gear.
Oh, okay.
If I had to stick to real-world things, I would transform into some kind of muscle car. That's what I would want to transform into, or a T-Rex, I guess.
Oh, see, now that you say that, see that makes me want to change my answer. But Velociraptor's too obvious, like the Dinobot Velociraptor. That's
well, that exists.
I would assume it does.
He's in Beast Wars. His name is Dinobot.
Why aren't we watching that?
I wanted to watch that.
Why aren't we?
I wanted to watch that.
I know you did. The only reason we're not watching that, and I watched the Beast Wars when it was on. I mean, it's been a long time, but I liked it. Some of that CG doesn't hold up, and it would be kind of
especially
amusing.
In first season.
It would be quite amusing.
The sky is blue. The ground is brown.
But
the mountains are also brown.
But the reason we're not doing that is because not as many people would be able to follow it with us. You'd have to own it. Because it's not streaming anywhere, and I looked everywhere. It's not on Hulu. It's not on Amazon. It's not anywhere. I would, barring that, barring a Velociraptor, which is my obvious quintessential answer to really anything where it replies, and a few things where it doesn't. I'd be a hearse.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
I think that'd be pretty cool.
I don't know if
that would be so. That'd be so inconspicuous.
Yeah,
I mean that'd be a really good one.
So. Bulkhead here, I forget what the voice actor's name is. He is the Joker from the Batman, and
I love that guy.
90 other
He is characters. So much fun. When you look at special features of that guy, he's so much fun to watch behind a microphone.
And he, not him, but the fact that Bulkhead was in this was one of the other things that made me wary of the show going into it, because Bulkhead is not a major Transformer, and he was in He was in animated, and I was like, really, we're doing Bulkhead again?
Tobias Walker says that Beast Wars used to be on Netflix, but it's not anymore.
It's unfortunate. Season 2 and 3 Beast Wars are some of my favorite Kids cartoons.
Redler and Tilly's. I did not live next to a morgue. I lived in a mortuary, which is way better because it's like, which is a funeral home. So I didn't live next to the bodies, to the building where the bodies were. I lived next to the room where the bodies were. And of course there were some upstairs a lot too because the visitations and stuff. But yeah, I lived right across from the embalming room, which I had to clean twice a month, and had to move bodies around in order to clean them, and I had to go out late at night and help pick up deceased folks. And boy, I love that job. I talk about it a lot, but it's one of my favorite jobs.
So this thing with Bumblebee, and it's been a while since I watched the show. I don't remember any of the kids' names. I love her. People hate her. I love her. Miko, of course, Miko. I love Miko. A lot of people don't like Miko. I love Miko. I love her energy. But with the smoking glasses,
without getting too personal, hopefully it's okay if I say this. She reminds me instantly of your sister.
Yep,
instantly.
Yep. She's Tessa. Exactly.
I love Eric's sister. She's so much fun.
But so Bumblebee in this talks like R2-D2. It's a lot of like beeps and whirs and like that kind of thing. No one understands what he's saying. None of the humans understand what he's saying, except for the one that's kind of the human that's like his partner.
So they do a Star Wars thing with it.
But there's no explanation. He's just a normal kid, and he understands what he's saying. And some people don't like that.
Yeah.
I just run with it. Because each of them kind of get one. Miko gets Bulkhead, he gets RC, and then the other kid.
Tobias Walker, I will not confirm nor deny whether or not I am a vampire.
She was just watching.
So scrap is just crap with S on it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we live in a day and age where you can almost put that in a kid's show and nobody's really going to bat an eye. Like, I'm not saying that that's what it should be.
And we used to use slag, but we stopped using slag because it's not an okay word in England.
Oh,
and Transformers was massively popular in England, so they started thinking about that. But Beast Wars used slag, and a couple others. Beast Wars got real.
Like at least something like frack isn't like the F word with a different letter on the front of it. Like,
yeah, but scrap is also a car term.
I know.
Or a machinery term.
I know. It's not as bad as some of the like profanity, the false profanity we do with Ninja Turtles, which just drives me crazy. Like what the shell and stuff. I never care for that.
Beast Wars gets into some real fun, just like borderline vulgar speak in like car
People
terms.
People are gasping because I said a bad word.
There's one point where Rat Trap talks about that there's a bar on Cybertron where all the bots walk around without their chassis on.
Hi, Mike Root.
And things like that.
Chewbacca's Lover says crap has been said on Cartoon Network shows like Total Drama. Good to know.
There's I forget if I'm allowed to say this on the channel or not, but I'm just going to say it.
Okay. Thanks for the warning.
Regular show says damn, and that
really
surprised me.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Because that's not even an Adult Swim thing. That's just a show.
Yep.
Okay.
So Peter Cullen comes back to do Optimus Prime in this.
I know you're not the biggest Peter Cullen fan.
I love Peter Cullen. Prime is the major reason I'm done with Peter Cullen. I had him for 3 years doing Optimus Prime again. He's in all the movies. It's no longer a big deal when they get Peter Cullen to voice it. I think he's good in this. He's not as good as Frank Welker, who tears it up in this show. I like their Optimus when he's got the mask thing up. Without it, I think his face looks real creepy because he doesn't have a nose.
Chewbacca's Lover. I don't know why I resisted What the Shell. I think it kind of just depends on where it is.
It's because they overuse it.
Is it? Yeah, that's probably what it is.
It's because they use it a lot.
I guess, Eric, I'm one of those kind of corrupted people that didn't grow up with Transformers that's just used to this being the voice of Optimus Prime. So, like, I never think about it. That's just what he sounds like.
Yeah.
And Megatron doesn't have a voice. Like, in my head, Megatron can sound like 15 different things.
Well, that's because Megatron is always a different voice. I mean, I actually think for most people, the definitive, like, in their head Megatron voice is probably the Beast Wars one. Yes, excellent.
Oh, wait, he's voiced by the guy from The Simpsons.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
That would be great, actually.
But he does steeple a lot.
I would
well,
love that.
When he has
Mr.
two
Burns.
hands, he steeples.
I had this whenever I'm trying to conjure Mr. Burns, I always want to say Smithers first, and then like it takes me a second. Something I really appreciate about the show is that the Transformers' mouths move. Like they actually have, and I don't mean up and down. I mean they have like they don't have lips, but like they have mouths that form complete word, and that gives them different expressions, and it makes it easier to tell them apart. And I realized that they all also look very different, but it's just when you get into their faces, they don't have the same face like Transformers sometimes have.
And this is the end of part 1.
Oh man!
So
there he is.
This was
I love the jagged teeth Megatron. That's awesome.
This was a huge deal.
Really?
Because
Why?
Peter Cullen had come in and done the Transformers films, and they specifically did not have. I said the name earlier, and now I've forgotten it. He voices every animal and everything. Frank Welker. They specifically did not have Frank Welker back because they said he couldn't do the Megatron voice anymore. And he's not doing the Megatron voice in this. He created a new voice, and it's amazing.
Oh, that is a big deal. Yeah. I thought you just meant that Megatron was in this. I was like, why is that a big deal?
It's a big deal because this is the first time Frank Welker came back to the part.
That's crazy.
Like, it's cool that Peter Cullen did this after doing the movies. He didn't go all big Hollywood or whatever.
Yeah.
But,
no, that is cool of him, right?
Yeah. But we just seen Peter Cullen do Optimus, and he's not doing a different voice. This was the first time in a long time that I think maybe he voiced.
Do you think the new voice is better?
For Megatron?
Yeah.
I do. I think it's my favorite Frank Welker voice. I love Megatron.
We're finished with the first episode, so we're going to move on to episode 2. I've got it rigged up. Make sure you do too. We'll give you a second to do that if you're watching with us. And if you're just listening to us talk and just hanging out, thanks for being here. Good to see you, folks. It's been a nice laid-back time so far. I'm certainly enjoying myself. Let me mention again, in case you just got here, that Eric and I are we have a Patreon goal tonight. We're hoping to hit the $400 tier. We tried to hit that last time, didn't quite make it. We got really close though. A couple days later, and we've had 1 or 2 people leave since then, so it's backed off a little bit. They probably wanted to save that money for Chipotle, and I completely sympathize. That's totally cool. So but we're trying to hit it tonight if we can. And if we get there, Eric and I are promising to make a video in the not too distant future where we will perform some of Hamlet in Klingon, speaking Klingon with subtitles. So help us get there, because that'll be a lot of fun, and we can promise you a Buffy marathon sooner rather than later if that ends up happening. So anyway, that's my spiel about that. I'm going to check right now and see if we have gotten anywhere on that, and then we're going to jump right into the next episode. It's Darkness Rising Part 2. He's saying Darkness Rising a lot. Vicuminator in the comments earlier said he thought that's what Transformers 3 or 4 should have been called. I forget which one he said.
Probably Dark of the Moon.
Yeah.
Because they could not get the copyrights to Dark Side of the Moon, and they just didn't want to change that title.
Although I would have made fun of it profusely, because Dark's got to be in everything, and Rising's got to be Rising has to be in everything, and it's a real.
As we
that
go
would have
on,
been the most generic title.
As we go on, it is a fitting title for this.
I'm sure it is, but I don't mind it as much immediately, even not knowing exactly why they're calling it that. I mean, okay, Megatron showed up at the end, and Darkness seems to be rising. But like, I don't mind it as much in this case, because it's not in a big summer blockbuster that we're trying to sell to people, trying to get them to go to the movie theater. It just seems like there are buzzwords that we try to use with movies where that we these like familiar buzzwords where for some reason there's probably some kind of like BS statistics that tell Hollywood bigwigs that the word dark gets people to go to the theater, and the word rise gets people to go to the theater, and dawn, and et cetera, et cetera.
And war.
Right, and war, of course. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into it, folks. So we're going to watch the second episode now of Transformers Prime. Get ready to press play when I say now. Eric, are you ready for more?
I am.
Here we go. Everybody, please press play right now.
So Prime was part of a big initiative. I was telling you about this the other day. Prime was part of a big initiative with novels, the Transformers War for Cybertron video games, and this were all supposed to be one continuity, although they contradicted ridiculously, but they were all supposed to be one continuity. And
I did forget Resurrection. You're absolutely right.
And anything with Chin.
Yes.
Well, actually, our words in general. Our words are big.
Rise, Resurrection, or
Retribution.
Reloaded.
Yeah. Our words are real big for one-word sequel titles.
Or the name of the thing followed directly by a word. Anyway, go ahead.
But so this was part of a big multimedia push for a kind of singular Transformers continuity, although they all contradict a lot. So
Revenge.
Coming into this, if you'd read, I believe the first novel was out, Exodus, and you'd played War for Cybertron, you had an idea of certain things in the show that they're just kind of mentioning and we'll get to later.
Oh,
but
interesting.
The relationship between Optimus and Megatron is real big in those. You're going to see Dark Energon.
So does it build on those things, or does it stand alone, but that's just like some of the stuff that we've been doing lately with Transformers, so they integrate it?
It's supposed to all connect.
Okay.
But you don't need to have played the game to watch the show, and you don't need to watch the show to play the game and that kind of thing. They don't actually match up.
Have you ever played that? Because I've heard good things about it. I've always wanted to.
I played it for about 6 minutes, ran out of bullets, couldn't figure out how to get more, and quit.
Okay.
And there's stuff here that we get kind of for the first time. Dark Energon isn't, as far as I'm aware, doesn't exist before War.
Real quick, Chewbacca's lover wants to know if we have the last time on so that we're synced right. Yes. That yes, is in these. Mm-hmm. So if you're watching on Netflix, don't let it skip those. Because it will, because if you're watching in sequence and you just let it keep going, it will either give you the option or just automatically skip those like it's an intro. So make sure it doesn't do that or you won't be synced with us. Anyway.
Okay. So you just missed a very important plot point.
Well, I'm sorry. I was helping people out with the sync niche.
That the Dark Energon is said to be the blood of Unicron, and that it essentially functions as an anti-spark. Do you know what spark is?
Yes.
Okay. It functions as an anti-spark. It is actually one of the biggest continuity issues across the novels, video games, and TV show because it does something different in all three of them.
You mean sparks or this anti-spark thing?
The anti-spark.
Okay.
Sparks also created by Beast Wars.
Yeah, because that was the thing you had to explain to me when we were going back to Gen 1.
Yes.
Because I was familiar with sparks, and the movies do them too, yeah?
Yes. Yeah, everything moving forward will do sparks after Beast Wars.
Okay.
It just became that is what it is.
So I've had the theme to the '86 movie stuck in my head all day long because we were doing this, and I was just walking around all day going, Transformers! Robots in the sky! And I just couldn't stop doing it. And then I kind of wish we were watching that, but I mean, I'm enjoying it.
Well, and Animate also has a cool redo of that song.
Oh, I know, it's so great. Their intro is glorious.
Yeah.
More than meets the eye. The first time I watched that movie, I watched it with Jason, and when that intro starts and that song, he lost it, and he couldn't stop laughing for 2 straight minutes.
Well, and it just going because it does the super credits thing.
Yeah. They played the whole song, I think.
I think so too.
And it's a pretty long song. No, it's great.
Do you know who did that version for the film?
I can't remember.
It is Lion.
Okay.
Who I don't know outside of doing the theme song for Transformers and Transformers the movie, but I hear they were a pretty big deal. Anyone mention Lion outside of Transformers? Oh! Here's another big voice actor who's going to show up in a minute. Agent Fowler is voiced by Ernie Hudson.
Oh yeah, that's right. I knew that.
He's great in this.
Mm-hmm.
There was a clip show episode that focuses on him, like he is the overarching story for clip show episode, and I love it. I don't care that it's clip show episode because he's so much fun.
Oh really?
Yeah.
They made like a good clip show.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can immediately recognize his voice. Obviously,
yeah.
Hudson has a real distinct voice.
This is an idea I like.
I didn't have to look that up. I heard him for 5 seconds, and just like Jeffrey Combs, I was like, oh holy crap! It's like holy scrap! It's that guy.
This is an idea I like, that the Transformers kind of work with the government, not work for the government, but like the government is aware of them. Because one of the big things with a lot of Transformers things is like, and no one notices that there's these massive battles. I like that we immediately acknowledge people do notice and they're kind of working with them, or at least tolerating them. It's a nice touch.
Rather until he's in the comments, and I'm reading this word for word. Okay, he says, "Do you even Star Wars Holiday Special?" No, I don't even.
This is one of my favorite lines.
I thought the idea of, and I'm sure this is in other Transformers things because I don't know what Ratchet's job usually is, but I thought the idea of a Transformers doctor was really interesting.
And that is what his job always is. That's why he's an ambulance.
But I feel like this show, because I haven't watched a lot of this stuff, but like would I be right in saying that this show probably does more with that than we sometimes do?
Animated does quite a bit too.
Do they? Okay, cool.
And
because we actually get kind of I mean, he's real Dr. McCoy in this. Like we get a little bit of a sense of what his job actually is, and a little bit of like the technical side of it. It's kind of cool.
And there's even an episode where he creates like a thing that makes him stronger, and he injects it into himself with a giant needle, and the fluid is green.
I should mention I watched this show before I had seen hardly anything Transformers at all. I hadn't seen the movie yet, and I've now watched a little bit of Gen 1, which just looks like more of the movie to me. And I needed that before I understood that the Transformers were kind of just an alien race. Like, even though they're robots, they kind of operate like they're just aliens, and obviously they're self-aware and sentient. And I mean, I knew that about them, but I think I much more appreciated the notion that they're just a species.
This is real horrifying. Like, I know they're robots. This is one of the things that Transformers gets away with a lot.
Yeah,
is being able to do horrific things because they're robots. He bit that guy's arm off. Yeah,
and it seems more horrifying because, again, as I'm saying, they're people.
Mm-hmm. So that's this is the immediate showing the dark spark idea that you can put it in a dead Transformer and it will bring them back as a zombie. I love this because this is doubling down on the death of Cliffjumper. Like, we're not bringing the Rock back. We immediately cut him in half. This is kind of maybe my favorite version of Megatron. I really like the Beast Wars version, but this one's so sadistic.
The reflection in his front looks awesome.
Yeah. Like, usually when I read Megatron, it's this voice. It's what you remember Megatron being. Like, if you were a kid and you never went back to Transformers, you would remember Megatron being real scary and like evil. He's kind of actually that. And I really like it.
The thing I remembered really appreciating about, and this maybe goes without saying, but about killing off Cliffjumper right away like that, killing off anybody right away with that, like that, is that we're immediately up front letting people, and especially kids, know what they're getting into, what kind of show this is going to be, and that there really are stakes, and we don't do the Disney thing where we resurrect them right away.
Well, we did, and then we immediately murdered them again.
Yeah. Although being like a 5-episode thing, you might have expected the Disney thing even again. Like.
I also really like that joke because Space Bridge is a thing we've always had in Transformers, and they have a teleporting like Stargate kind of thing to get anywhere on the planet, and it's called a ground bridge, which is the most redundant term. It's like, what's a ground bridge? He's like, it's a ground version of a space bridge.
It's essentially a boom tube.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what it is.
Well, except it's more limited because it only goes around the planet.
Yeah.
I would like one of those because I like to travel, but I like the being at another place part.
Yeah, me too.
More than I like the actual getting there part. I don't always. The transformations in this are real fluid. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't have that. It's about the journey, not the destination thing so much.
I find that I have it. I do not have it's the journey, not the destination. If I have a destination, if I'm going somewhere, I want to be there, and I can get antsy. If I'm just,
but you could
driving around.
Yeah, that's
I don't have that.
Well, of course, because that's the point.
Mm-hmm.
But you'd probably be disappointed if you didn't find a cool destination.
Yeah.
At some point, or do you just drive around?
I mean, I have. My friend used to throw newspapers. We just drive around.
Oh, okay, sure. But that's like a lot of destinations and then going home.
That's true. It's a big drill thing.
Only that big drill thing. Anybody else feeling Ninja Turtles right now?
Well, it is a mine.
Yeah.
They use drills in mines.
Well, that's true. I'm just saying the look of that particular drill was that there's different kinds of drills that looked very Shredder drill to me.
Oh, another thing that we do in this series is we don't give the Transformers weapons. They are part of them. You will see their hands transformed into swords or guns. They don't hold guns. Part of the idea being, why would a robot have parts of them that like shoot out? Like, because their gun folds into them when they transform. Yeah. So they have this idea that all of the weapons are actually part of them, and you'll see their hands transform into weapons.
Chewbacca's lover actually brought that up as you were saying it.
Oh, interesting.
And asked us what we thought of the fact that he says their hands turning into guns in order, in older stuff they carry guns without the hands changing. Yeah.
I don't. It's one of those things like I think it's a really cool idea and I like it. I don't want it to always be the thing. I like both.
The Cuminator says that came from the movie. That's a movie thing.
Transforming your hands into guns? No, it's not. I mean, some people do that in the movies, but the Optimus definitely has a gun. And there's definitely some other weapons that people are carrying around.
I'm just saying what he said.
Okay. I don't remember that. Like, I can distinctly remember some of them holding weapons.
Oh, yeah, that is kind of interesting. That makes more sense to me.
Yeah.
Because if you lost it and it's supposed to be part of you, then that would, like, suck.
Yeah. Maximum overdrive.
Yes! I want that to be I want that to be like Deadpool's like maximum effort. Like I want that to be what he says whenever he goes into battle. He can still have roll out for his Avengers Assemble, but I want his like catchphrase when he goes into battle to always be maximum overdrive. Oh boy.
And we have a proper...
That's my new favorite Transformers thing. I want that on a t-shirt. I want an Optimus t-shirt that says maximum overdrive. I'm irrationally excited about the fact that he said that. That's one of my favorite bad movies.
It's really good.
And bad. It's great. Chewbacca's lover says nothing Eric likes can come from the movies. That's not okay. It's just we can't have that.
I was resistant to the Allspark being in animated initially because it came from the movie. But the Allspark's another thing that's just kind of in everything now, and I've just accepted it.
That Starscream voice is really cool. Oh, Starscream, excuse me, Megatron voice is really cool. And I just like that he has super sharp teeth.
There was an episode where
I wonder what the figures from this show look like. I wonder if they're any good.
I had the Starscream, and I liked it quite a bit.
It'd be pretty cool to have a Megatron that had super jagged teeth like
at some point, I sold off most of my toys. My original, I used to have a goal. I was going to have all of my favorite Transformers. I didn't have to have like different versions of them. I just wanted one version of each of them. So,
and like your favorite version, or just a version?
Just a version if I could get a hold of it, because sometimes that stuff can be expensive.
Of course.
So I had the Starscream from this. I had the Grimlock from Animated. I had the Cup from the Generations line. Which,
Transformers can be worse than Power Rangers, yeah.
For prices,
yeah.
And turns out the Starscream that I got,
they have Klingon blood.
Like kind of
they have Star Trek 6 Klingon blood.
Yeah. Well, he does because he's a zombie.
What? Oh, okay. I should probably like follow the plot.
So she's still trying to save him, and we're going to kill him.
I forgot about this. Yeah,
just to continue driving home the point. No, he's dead.
Yeah, he's dead. He's not coming back. It's tragic. Be sad for her. Oh, he really is dead.
And this is one of the cases of a prequel comic working really well. The lead up prequel comic to this is an adventure with the two of them.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that's what you would want to do with that. Because I can see someone making that complaint, like we're supposed to care about that, but we spent 6 seconds with him. Mm-hmm. I guess we're supposed to care because he's Dwayne Johnson, but...
And we will get a flashback episode with the two of them later.
Oh, okay, okay. But it's not just that comic again.
No. I don't think so. I never actually read the comic, so I don't know. I just know that that's what's in the comic.
Okay, he said roll out. Now he gets to say maximum overdrive again, right? Right? That is the next thing we'll hear him say, right?
I want Cliff Jumper's head to just like come shooting out of the explosion just to continue driving home the point.
Chewbacca's lover, I'm sorry you're having difficulty syncing with us. Oh, boom tube. That is cool.
Yeah.
Their boom tube is awesome. Their land bridge is awesome.
Ground bridge.
Excuse me, I said land bridge. Land bridge makes sense. Because it connects land together. Ground bridge, I'm with you. That does sound a little bit, maybe kind of redundant. They're not like Lucius Fox. They actually did get the damn bridge to work.
Yeah,
they got it to work.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's definitely dead now, right? So Bumblebee doesn't talk in this either?
No, I was telling that earlier where like he worries.
I missed it. I missed it.
Well,
I heard you say something about someone worrying, but I missed the context.
Bumblebee worries like R2-D2, and his kid would understand him.
That's who we were talking about. Okay,
yes,
excuse me. Sorry. What do you think of that? Does that bug you?
No. I just accept it.
I mean, I don't mean the fact that the kid can understand him. I just mean that that's what we're doing with Bumblebee because he doesn't talk in the movies and because I know he used to talk and now he doesn't.
No, because
that's like a thing now.
And he will eventually get his voice and it will keep.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't bother me because it's just the R2-D2 thing. Whereas in the movie, I hate the movie because he's supposed to be broadcasting through a radio, but he constantly uses movie clips, and I don't like. That idea is dumb to me. That he can just scan the radio and exactly the song he wants is on. I'm sorry, 6 songs play on the radio. You're not going to be able to do that.
If you recorded all of them and you went to enough different stations, you could. And if you got internet radio,
but he doesn't record them. You hear the station turning sound when he goes from.
Well, then that just doesn't make any sense because it's real time anyway. You would have to be able to tell the future to do that.
And he uses movie clips and stuff. And
that doesn't make any sense.
Nope, it makes no sense. It's real dumb.
Yeah.
So it's.
So yeah, you're right. He is just tuning in to broadcast. Yeah.
So Bumblebee worrying this isn't my favorite thing, but I don't have an issue with it either. Bumblebee's not one of my favorite Transformers. You can kind of do whatever you want with him.
I thought he can do whatever he wants. I don't care. Bumblebee, you just have your thing. Do whatever. I don't care. Yeah, folks, right? That is almost exactly that Star Trek theme. Some people picked up on it and are like, oh wait, no, it's not a little bit like it. It's like somebody was like, Giacchino should sue.
Well, obviously,
yeah, it might be that they had the rights to it. I mean, this is, and for some reason they decided to sort of kind of use it. I don't know, but this is a Paramount production,
and it's Orsi and Kurtzman.
Yeah. I don't always know how distribution works. I don't know if Paramount, being a movie company, actually has anything to do with TV. Now that I'm saying that.
Maybe they just got someone to do the exact same score and say it was something different. What's his name did with his own stuff in Darkman?
Oh yes, of course. Yeah, Danny Elfman.
Yeah, Danny Elfman did with Darkman.
Yeah, but I don't think Giacchino worked on this.
No, but maybe someone just recorded it again.
Nathan Snyder said in War for Cybertron, Bumblebee was voiced by Johnny Young Bosch.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, he's a good casting choice for Bumblebee.
Yeah. And that's forgetting how much voice work he does.
That's one.
You said he works a lot in anime.
Yeah, he does. He does do a lot.
We had a Johnny Young Bosch conversation just the other day.
And that's one of the things that I know is discontinuous across the novel, the video game, and this is how he loses his voice box.
Oh, okay.
It contradicts.
I thought I was losing my voice box earlier today. I was like my voice was starting to go out a little bit, and I didn't know if I'd be able to do this, but luckily I sound okay right now.
There were some Transformers fans that was annoyed by that line, where she says you can watch cartoons, and he says, "Cartoons, I'm 16."
Oh yeah. Comic books, those are for children.
Just such a good voice.
That reminds me of something. I can't put my finger on it right away.
Well, and then they did finally bring him in Age of Extinction to do Galvatron, and it's this voice. He did this voice, which is why I wasn't as blown away by it because I was like, I've had 3 seasons of that voice. I'm used to it now.
Okay, Mom, you're 170. Yes, I like baked potatoes. Okay. Do you like baked potatoes?
Yeah, I like baked potatoes. All right.
Okay.
I prefer mashed.
Me too. Me too. And my wife loves baked potatoes. It's just her favorite. Her absolute favorite thing. Chewbacca's lover, for one, was not offended by the cartoon line.
He just stabbed himself in the spark with the dark engine.
Uh-oh. So I'm missing all the important plot points because people want us to talk about like baked potatoes and stuff, but oh man. So what's that going to do to him then? I can't remember. I've seen this, but I don't remember what happens to him. Oh, he'll bleed even more purple if he bleeds. Yeah. Yeah, see, I don't need like garlic and cheese and all that. Like that's okay, but like I'm good with just like, I don't know, a little butter, a little pepper, a little salt, obviously, but
it went evil. Oh, it transformed.
I mean, what show are you watching?
It's true.
Oh God! Ah! Sorry, I'm okay.
That's not as good to be continued as the last one.
No, it's not. It's still pretty cool though.
Yeah.
I love it when things come at the screen for this reason. When you have a little kid that is not expecting it and has like, and is still trying to figure out perception and like depth perception and stuff, or perspective and like depth perception, it is so much fun to watch like a 2 or 3 year old see things in a screen coming at him like that. Because the first time Jason saw Ghostbusters and in the end of Ghostbusters, Slimer's coming at you, he goes, ah! The whole ass is coming at him like he was going to hit him in the face.
So that's interesting.
And it was great.
At the end of the credits, it runs to the German voice cast, then the French voice cast.
Yeah.
I've never seen that.
Okay, so once again, folks, if you're watching this on Netflix, mine just jumped us past the recap, so make sure that you get it back to timestamp 0 so that you're caught up with us, because I'm not going to watch it from 37 on. I'm going to watch it from 0 on. So anyway, go ahead and rig yourself up for episode 3, and we'll give you just a minute or two in order to do that. I've got mine rigged up. I'm putting on my subtitles so that I can follow these important plot points that I haven't actually been paying nearly enough attention to as I've been, reading. Man, I'm starting to wish, Eric, that I had chosen our intern before today so that we could have had a chat moderator tonight. And then while I was paying attention to this, he could occasionally say things if he was, available. But anyway, Nathan Snyder wants us to do a live stream for Spectacular Spider-Man. That could happen down the road, certainly.
It was actually one of the options when this was voted on.
When Power Rangers was voted on.
No, because Power Rangers was picked. This was.
Oh, I guess it was an option both times. I mean, Spectacular was also a show we talked about a lot that night. People wanted us to do that.
Yeah.
But you're right. I forgot. That was also on the Patreon list. The
poll.
The poll. Thank you.
Still polling opinions. Still polling.
All right, so let's go on to episode 3 now, folks, for Transformers Prime. Transformers Prime is what we're watching if you conveniently just got here. And if you conveniently just got here, leave a message while in the stream. We would love to know just how conveniently you managed to get in just as we were getting into a 3rd episode. Eric, are you ready, sir?
I'm ready.
Here it is, predictably, Darkness Rising, again, part 3. And get ready to press play when I say now. Here we go. Everybody, please press play right now. Previously on Transformers Prime. I haven't tried to get a real good impression of Optimus Prime yet, but one of these days I'll work on that. One of these days I'll see if I can get it. But then I think the reason I haven't is because everybody does that. Mm-hmm. Everybody does that voice. I'd rather be able to do that Megatron or something.
Yeah,
that'd be pretty cool.
You could just do a Jeffrey Combs.
I would.
You can get a lot of mileage out of being able to do a Jeffrey Combs.
I would love to be able to do a perfect Jeffrey Combs or Tony Todd. Being able to do a Tony Todd would be really useful.
I think you'd need different lungs to be able to do a Tony Todd.
Yeah, he's in a different league, Tony Todd. And my voice isn't that bass. I'm not I'm not a straight up tenor. I used to sing tenor in choirs, but I'm more of a baritone.
I don't know what I am.
You're somewhere between tenor and baritone, also. You're probably more of a tenor, honestly. I think you have even a higher voice than I do. But I wouldn't be able to tell unless I saw you try to stretch your range like singing, because there's your range, and then there's just the voice you tend to talk in. You know, like the register you tend to talk in. That's hilarious. They're basically playing pole position, and that's hilarious. And with 64 controllers? Some kind of a hybrid between a 64 controller and a PlayStation controller or an Xbox controller. Yeah,
it's kind of got the shape of the Xbox.
That road never turned. It's just a straight road the whole way. That's a boring video game. That is the worst remake of Pole Position I've ever seen. Yeah, Red Letter Antilles. I did used to do choir, and I was in a vocal jazz ensemble back in college.
I did choir when I was a little kid.
Did you?
Yeah, I did everything when I was a little kid. I was way more active as a little kid.
I did it all growing up, and into college, and
I did gymnastics when I was a little kid.
Really?
Yeah.
I did in indoor soccer when I was in first grade.
I did outdoor soccer.
I liked indoor because you didn't get sunburned.
Soccer is my favorite sport to play.
Mine remains basketball.
Oh, interesting.
I'm no good at it, but
well, I also
that was the thing I used
also
to
really like
play
kickball,
too.
but I don't know if kickball counts as a sport.
I'm unfortunately
it's not in the Olympics.
Unfortunately, I'm very short, which makes basketball hard. But
you gotta get lift. Work on your jump. Can you work on your jump? Can you make your jump better?
I would assume so. I assume you could get a little more ups, as they say, more ups. Wow, you're real purple, dude.
Well, he's reflecting the purple. I mean, he is purple, but he's reflecting the purple of the dark energy.
He's not as purple as I thought he was.
But he is purple.
See, I want... do people have this where, like, their favorite Transformer is a specific Transformer from a specific show or version or something?
Absolutely.
Because I don't think it's really fair to just be like, this is my favorite Transformer, and then that's it throughout, because there's different characterizations like there are with so many different things, right? So, like, I don't know. I could see getting to a place where my favorite... I don't have one right now. Where, like, my favorite Transformer would be this Megatron, but not necessarily every Megatron.
Well, a lot of times the characters have similar traits. Like, if your favorite... Like, usually you'll have... Like, Starscream's my favorite, and this is my favorite of the Starscreams kind of a thing.
Yeah.
I've got that with Grimlock and Cup. But a lot of them will have consistent... Like, Cup is the same in everything he shows up in. Starscream's always a backstabbing traitor, except for kind of in Armada, where he's kind of noble, kind of. He goes. He actually takes an arc. This Starscream kind of arcs too. But
yeah, but
not the same way.
Some folks in the comments, starting with Bob the Hunter, wanting us to switch what we're doing right now, where you're responding more to comments, so that I can pay attention more. But the problem is, if we do that, well, we can do that. That's not a problem. But the issue is, if we do that, there's going to be a lot more dead air, because Eric is also responding a lot to things that he's seeing on the screen to give us anecdotes and history and things. So I think it's kind of as important that you're looking at this as it is me, but I don't know. That is a good point that you raised, though, because it is kind of hard to keep track of everything. This is the whole reason I'm getting an intern, you guys. It's the whole reason.
There it is. Mega Zombie Army. Darkness Rising. It's going to raise an army of the undead. I love what they do with this. There's a couple of really cool ideas in this. That is one of the coolest. So when the movie comes out, we have a dead Cybertron. And we also have that in the comics and in this. We have, so like a lot around this time period, we have Cybertron no longer inhabitable, all of that. This is the only one that does something with the fact that Cybertron is covered in robot corpses. Because it was a war. Everybody just didn't
and
up
it feels
leave.
like such an obvious thing to do with it, too.
Yeah.
Like, once you hear it, you're like, oh, yes, of course, zombies, yeah.
In IDW, it's covered with covered with like chemicals and stuff, and they can't go back for a long time. They have currently fixed it, but so do you have an opinion on Optimus's face here? I think he looks so creepy without the mouth bit. I think it's because he doesn't have a nose, but he looks off to me.
It's kind of weird. Just because I'm so used to him having the plate over it, like I don't have this with anybody else, but it would be cool if the plate sometimes covered it, or does it? It does it? Okay,
yeah,
okay.
I wish he always had it out.
No, I don't.
That's
I don't mind that.
The movie too.
I don't mind that because I like getting to see the emote and be expressive and stuff. But I'm with you. It is weird that there's no nose, and he doesn't look as weird. I mean, nobody else looks as weird as he does.
Yeah. I guess she's kind of got a similar face, but
yeah, except that she's got like a protruding thing where her nose would be if she had a nose, so it doesn't look like she's
and her face
missing
is more
one.
rounded. It's not as flat as Optimus.
Yeah, and then he looks like he almost has a nose. Oh yeah, I forgot about this band practice thing. Chewbacca's lover says Optimus doesn't look creepy, but he looks kind of lame. Nathan Sider says there was an episode of G1 where his mouthpiece was gone and there was nothing there.
I love Miko. She's so much fun.
I don't remember having really an opinion.
She's all energy, and I don't know. I like her. She's so much fun. Some people hate it. I think she's a lot of fun. She's also kind of the stand-in for Transformers fans in a lot of ways. Because she's so excited to be around giant robots, think they're super cool.
Yeah, that's a good observation.
Well, it is English.
Yeah, I
surprisingly,
mean, maybe they speak a different language there, and they just know English. But yes, that's apparently the language they speak.
I also like the Transformers having a base. We don't always have like a base like this.
Like just a central place for them to hang out at.
Yeah, not like this. For a little bit in the animated, they don't, and then they get it's an abandoned building that Sari's dad owns because he owns like half the city. But specifically, like in the mountain, because that's where we are in G1. Is their base is in a mountain? And stuff
Red
like
Letter Antilles wants to know why there are amps in this base. That's a good question.
I know at some point we addressed a USB slot issue where like they try to plug a USB in, but like their USB slots are giant and things like that. Or maybe
yeah, that's right.
But that's the thing that happens.
They have USB slots. That's awesome.
Of course they do.
It's universal. Every planet figured out that USB was a really good way to transfer information.
Yeah.
And they also have HDMI ports. And then 10 years from now, we'll be like, God, that's all so like out of date.
So this is a thing that people will complain about with the show, especially in season 2, which is Earth just seems kind of like in the movies. Earth is a magnet for everything Cybertronian. We have a bunch of like ancient weapons. We were just told that the biggest Cybertronian war or fight or battle in all of history happened here. Although this makes a little bit more sense. But there's an explanation for why there's Cybertronian stuff here, but there's not a good enough explanation for why there are so many items, because season 2 is kind of fetch questy.
Oh, okay.
That's a
real MacGuffin-y.
Yeah, really MacGuffin-y.
And that's one of the things that makes my eyes glaze over with Transformers quite a bit.
Mm.
Transformers seems to be about going after an artifact a lot. I mean, a lot of things
the movies
are too.
Are.
But, yeah.
And this show is kind of, but that might just be Orson Kurtzman's sensibilities. I mean, we do some fun stuff with it in in this.
Man, I love his fingers.
That's the version of, like, he's got the cassettes. That's kind of this show's version of that. He's got the little
okay.
thing.
Yeah.
I don't think he's named Laserbeak, but
I want the cassette thing. I want original Soundwave to be my favorite Transformer just because I think that's awesome.
There's a cool thing they do in animated with Soundwave where he starts as just like this small thing, and he ends up in a music store, and he's actual music store equipment. So he's actually speakers, and I don't think he transforms in that. I can't remember. It's been a while since I saw it, but he's made up of components, like actual musical components.
Tobias Wider says, if you think about it, it makes sense considering how they explain Earth's origin.
Yes, no. Some of that stuff makes sense. What doesn't make sense is why there's just so many items here.
How far away from Earth even is Cybertron? No one knows. Roll out.
It's a bit away.
Maximum overdrive.
I'm not even sure if Cybertron's in our galaxy or not. Well, not galaxy. Galaxy. I'm not sure if Cybertron's in our galaxy.
I'm not gonna like this show as much, you guys, if he doesn't say maximum overdrive again. He has to say it again. It has to be his thing. It's important. Bob the Hun says we're lagging. Folks, let me know if that remains an issue. And we'll take a break after this episode and see if we can do something about it. Obviously, we got to play this out.
Yeah.
Bob the Hun wants to know if we think Orsi and Kurtzman could make a good Spider-Man cartoon. I mean, I guess they could executive produce a good anything if judging this. But as far as like they're actually writing on it and making it,
they don't understand how human beings work.
I wouldn't think so.
Spider-Man is the last character I want him on.
Sure. Yeah, but I mean, this show gets human condition better than I would think they would.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Like, that's not about human beings. That's about just telling good stories. Again, the Transformers
maybe
are
they're
kind
just
of
like
people,
the dance lot of movies.
You know?
Like they're just terrible at writing, but they're not bad at plotting.
But I don't know how much they had to do. I don't think anybody knows just how much they had to do with the show.
Yeah, I don't actually know.
Oh, good, awesome. See, I didn't want people to give too much away about the show, but I am glad to know that he says maximum overdrive again. Apparently, in the last episode of this 5-parter.
Oh, good.
Which is exactly where you'd want it, because that means it's probably like a big climactic like money moment. You guys wait. I'm gonna lose myself when that happens. I can't wait. Are we cooler because we call them cons instead of Decepticons?
Well, it's because they're Viacons, I believe.
Oh
no. Maybe we do.
No, I don't think so.
Cons.
I'm pretty sure we did that with the
Yeah. I think they refer to each other as bots too for other bots.
They do. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
That's a real reflection of modern culture, right? Where we gotta shorten everything.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember
it's real Twitter speak kind of thing.
If animated did that or not, and I can't remember. I wouldn't think so, because there's a real reference to the Decepticons.
I love how his stance and like the arms behind the back.
Yeah.
And, I love stuff like that.
And I was really
he's just got so much presence, and shooting him from underneath's real smart. Like,
I was really impressed with Stephen Bloom here because he doesn't sound like himself. Stephen Bloom's one of those voice actors who's very good at what he does, but he tends to be the same in everything. He's got a very distinct voice, and it works. He's doing a real voice here, and I really like it.
Okay, people in the comments are still begging us to switch places after this.
Okay.
But I'll only do it if I can get you to promise me that you'll actually respond to comments.
Yeah. Okay. Are you missing that much? Or do people feel like you're missing that much?
I guess. I guess, but if that happens, you're going to hear a lot less from me because
you're just going to be watching.
I'm just going to be watching, yeah. And people are also asking me to put cybernetics in your head so you can just be like connected up to the thing, and then the the comments can go directly into your
You don't
brain.
need to do that. I can just get contacts that have a live feed running through them.
Yeah, that's how that works.
I think this is the one that made people not like Miko. But she immediately admits she made a poor decision.
Oh, okay, okay.
She went along with him. She's not supposed to be there.
The episode.
That's just a good episode break.
Yep, it was a good commercial break.
So we talked about this at some point. I want to know if you remember. Do you remember?
You just said you're going to be the guy in the chair. Guy in the chair.
Do you remember what channel this aired on?
No,
Hasbro's channel.
Look, I couldn't remember it because I wasn't there. I didn't know this even existed until it was on Netflix. There's no remembering.
No, but we had a conversation.
Oh, okay.
Some time ago, where I talked about
Hasbro had their own channel. Okay. Yeah, you did tell me about that.
It was called Hub.
But I didn't remember you saying that was the only place this was. Is that the only place this was? Okay.
That is where this aired.
Nathan Snyder says, you can for it the Hub.
Yep. They also had G.I. Joe something. Renegades. I think it was Renegades. I think that was the TV show. It wasn't great.
You know, I imagine watching this along with us. It's probably not even that I'm missing too much of what I'm saying. It's probably just it's bothering people knowing that I don't know this very well. Seeing me looking away from the screen too much. It's probably like, oh, he keeps looking at the no, don't read the comments, Cap. We just want you to see this great show. People are so caring. This like trio of kids is real Saturday morning cartoon.
Yeah. But I like that.
There's something almost like Inspector Gadget about it. I mean, I know that only had like the one, but I don't know. There's something about like the look of especially the kid with the glasses. I don't know.
Yeah. He's real like Whiz Kitty.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely a throwback to that kind of stuff.
They're not my least favorite humans in a Transformers show by any stretch. It's not my favorite either, but
at least they don't have like a dog or anything. Or maybe they get one later.
No.
Is there any like silly pet or like almost talking pet?
No,
they don't go there. That's what it is. That is the Hanna-Barbera character here, clearly.
I love how this scenes. This looks like a Spawn thing.
It does. It's real ominous.
I also really like how
he's doing that standard like I won't break when I'm being tortured thing.
Well, but what I like is how dark we go into this in the children's show just by illusion.
Yeah,
he looks away and says, "Give me the prod," and then we're going to cut back and he's going to be all messed up. We're not going to show anything. We're going to let the kids' heads fill in what happened.
Yeah. You know, something else we should give this credit for, especially as early as 2010, which sounds weird to say. It really does. I was already doing YouTube for a year when this came out. But it's not only does the CG look good, but the character models for the humans look good. The humans are hard to do in CG. Just coming up with like what the model is going to be, like what they're going to look like.
Oh, we do get one shock on them. So when the kid with glasses, whose name I don't remember, I'm sorry. I don't remember the human characters in the show, or I don't remember their names except for Miko because I saw it in the subtitles. When they come out of the ground bridge, he says, "Are your bones vibrating?" I really like that because I feel like the go-to reaction whenever you go through a portal or a teleporter is always throw up. That is what it does to you. Is like you don't feel good and you throw up. I like bones vibrating. Like that's a real like fun little different thing to do with that. Obviously, not gonna throw up in a kids cartoon, but. Other than just, I feel sick.
This day and age, I don't know that I couldn't imagine like off-screen vomiting.
Yeah,
I mean, I wouldn't want that, but I could see it. I don't know what the standards are anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I don't know what's considered okay for a kids cartoon now. in a lot of ways. But I like that. I don't feel like there's anything in this that like give kids nightmares. It just seems like horribly inappropriate. Like I like that we're able to push those envelopes and still make it something that I would want to show my kids.
Well, we did murder a character, bring them back to life as a zombie, then murder them again. I mean, there might be some nightmares there.
Sure, but I guess the kind of nightmares I could live with, Eric.
The good kind of nightmares. It's okay to have a little bit spooky for kids. So
I think as you've said 100 times, as long as there are consequences to violence, I think sometimes it's a good idea.
Yeah, I agree.
To have nightmarish things and kid stuff. I don't mean that everything should be puppy dogs and rainbows. I mean that the thing should be about something and know what it is, and that if you have violence, it should mean something. There should be consequence. Something should happen to the people involved.
The zombies came up and they were all janky looking, like they were like brought back as zombies, but like they're just reanimated. So like, did they look like that when they went in the ground? Because like they're like one arm's bigger than the other, and then I don't know. They look all zombie.
So that is the end of the third episode, and I think we're gonna go ahead and take a little bit of a break now. We won't have a real long intermission. We're not even remotely close to the halfway point. But folks were complaining about lag and stuff, and I just want to take a quick break if we can. So how about I don't know, like 3 or 4 minutes, just a few minutes. We'll come right back. And once again, if you're just now joining us, or you came just a little bit ago, Eric and I are hoping to get to the $400 mark tonight on Patreon. And if we do that, he and I are going to do some Shakespeare for you on a video in Klingon. So help us get there, because we really want to do that. That'd be a lot of fun, and that'll also get us to the Buffy live commentary faster. But never fear, because even if that doesn't happen tonight, we are going to have another live commentary soon. Here within the next couple weeks, we'll be doing Power Rangers. We have another tonight. What is it, like 7 episodes? We've done 3. No. We've got 2 more for this, and then 4 more after that. If we do that other one, so 6.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So we will see you folks in just a few minutes. And go ahead and set up your episode 4 if you get a chance. And we will be right back. See you in a bit. Hey, folks, we're back. Sorry about the delay there. We meant to only be gone for a couple of minutes, but I needed to help Eric get his phone working so that he can look at the comments. We decided to do it that way instead of switching places. So hopefully Eric's able to get the comments there on his phone, and he'll be able to look at those readily and respond to some of them so that I can pay a little bit more attention to the show that I don't know very well, as was requested by a number of folks. Okay, so give us just a minute here. I'm also going to pull comments up so that I can look at them when I need to.
It comes up with nothing.
Apparently, I just freaked out a bunch of people just suddenly showing back up, and that's not doing anything. Can I see it for a second?
Yeah.
Well, folks, this just may not work.
Yeah, I pasted the link. There's one other thing I can try, but I don't think that'll work either.
Yeah, weird. Okay, send that link to my Facebook, and then I'll hand you my phone.
Okay. Well, it should be there because you sent it to me. It should be on your Facebook.
Oh, that's true. It should then. Yeah. Not even thinking. Okay, folks, thanks for your patience as we get this whole thing figured out. This is for you guys. We don't have to do this. This is yeah, I don't know why it wasn't showing up on yours, but it's working fine here.
I need a new phone. Like, if we're being completely honest.
Well, yeah, it's also cracked at 15 places.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. Let me also bring this light closer. Geekvolution by Gaslight. Actually, that'd be fun. One of these nights, Eric, we should do a broadcast like this with just illuminated by candles, just candles.
Yeah,
it'd be really cool. I don't know if it would look good, but Chewbacca's Lover says thanks for being so interactive, and yeah, I'm used to being the only person looking at the comments.
Someone said just horror movies.
Yeah. But what I need you to remember, Eric, is and you need to do this too, when you are responding to a comment, you have to remember that the people watching after the fact can't see these. So if I say, this guy says this, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the people watching after the fact so that they know what's being said. So you're like, no, I already know that. Yeah, I'm not talking to you right now. I'm talking to the camera.
I was about to read it.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay. All right, cool. Anyway, so let's go ahead and get started with episode 4. Go ahead and pull that up, folks. We'll give you a second to do that. But you know, we were gone a long time, so I'm sure a lot of you already have it up. Episode 4 of Transformers Prime. It's Darkness Rising, Part 4, somewhat predictably. And get ready to press play when I say now. Here we go, folks. Everybody, please press play right now. Previously on Transformers Prime.
Everybody's talking about Planet of the Apes right now.
I liked it more than Eric did.
Well, they're actually talking about Dawn.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fair.
Apparently, Matt Reeves changed the script a bunch, and the only thing he kept is the confrontation between Cobra and Caesar.
Oh, weird. Okay.
And Crabtree says he's going to do he may do a live Power Rangers drawing when we do the Power Rangers marathon.
Oh, cool.
Also, your suggestion of candlelight is noted as being strangely romantic.
Oh, cool. I'll see if Sarah can be there, or if we'll just do, or people keep saying Eric and I have kind of like a bromance thing going on.
Back the Cap and Eric married thing.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm.
See, look, they're all weird and janky looking. Is that what they looked like when they went in the ground? Like, it looks like they were designed to come back as zombies.
That's hilarious. Or isn't it? I mean, I assumed it was supposed to just be that like they got all messed up underground, but I guess they do sort of look like they were designed that way.
It looks like they were put together. So Decepticon symbol, in a number of continuities, and I believe in this one, is based on a actually definitely in this one. So Captain Eric Starring and I Love You Man too.
The Cumulator says the body's just decomposed, but I don't know.
They look like they're it looks like they're put together. They look Frankenstein-y, like they're put together from various bodies.
But they're all put together in the same way.
Yes.
Which is understandable for reasons we noted earlier.
But so there's the original 13 Transformers, the original 13 Primes. One of them was called Megatronus Prime, and his face is the design for the Decepticon symbol, and that's where Megatron got his name from.
Oh, I didn't know that. I'm learning so much.
Nathan Snyder says it's close to midnight, somebody's knocking on the door, and Tobias Walker suggests calling the police.
Is that a reference to something?
Nope. Apparently somebody just knocked on the door.
Oh, wow. Okay. I honestly, I so often expect dramatic things like that are song lyrics or something. Well, I hope everything's okay. I'm with that guy. Don't answer that.
And some people are telling me that Megatron is the Fallen, which I don't know if that's always the case, but it is in the movie for sure. Or maybe that is a thing that Simon Fern went back and retconned.
I forget now what even the Fallen is, because I saw that movie once and I hated it.
Well, the Fallen in the comics is a priest of Unicron.
Okay.
It's a whole thing. Nathan Snyder said he was quoting Thriller. So
see, I
no
knew
alarm.
it. I knew it. And if you'd given me a
alarm.
second, I would have come up with Thriller, but I also wasn't sure if it was a quote. See, I knew it. You start to get savvy about that sort of thing when you read comments for a long time. People are just having fun in the comments.
So he is
but don't answer it.
He is the Fallen specifically in this continuity of Megatron.
Okay.
I don't think the Fallen's shown up in the IDW. Well, IDW stayed away from Unicron altogether.
Is that a spoiler? Is he giving things away?
Well, no, because I don't remember the Fallen showing up, but it might be in one of the games of the novels.
Oh, okay. Continuity, not series.
Maybe that second novel, Exile.
So are any of the comics continuous with anything else, or are they all their own thing? Like with IDW stuff?
The IDW stuff is all its own thing.
Okay.
Although IDW did publish comics.
So it's like Ninja Turtles.
Yes. Although IDW did, like Ninja Turtles, publish comics for this and for Animated, when Anime was on. And I really want to get...
Sure, but those are separate continuities.
And I really want to get... one of the comics for Prime is the Dinobots, who don't appear in the show. But they
don't? Okay,
no.
I'm done. I'm done with the show. Forget it. I'm done.
Well,
that's it.
There are, like, kind of dinosaur-y Transformers later in the third season.
If there is a Velociraptor bot that has a name, that will end up being my favorite Transformer.
Okay, so the Fallen shows up in the sequel show to this, Robots in Disguise, which is a show that I watched the first episode of and didn't care for, and so I didn't follow up.
Oh, but it's the same continuity? I thought it was the same thing.
No, it's the same continuity.
Okay. And then isn't Beast Hunters also this?
Yes, Beast Hunters is season 3. It just got rebranded for the third season.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And that's the one where some like dinosaur stuff shows up.
Oh, okay.
Or at least dragons.
Well, now I don't have to be.
Do you like dragons? Or dragons part of your dinosaur thing?
I can get excited about dragons. It depends. Usually, it's roped up in that sword and sorcery thing, and that's not my thing. But if you ever, we hardly ever do it. Modern dragons, I could get real excited about.
Did you ever see Ring of Fire?
No.
With Christian Bale and Matthew McConaughey?
No, is that Modern Dragons?
Oh, it's dragons come back from like the core of the earth and take over the planet. It's like a post-apocalyptic dragon.
Oh, take my money. Yeah, that sounds great. Is it good?
No,
it's not good.
It's great. I mean, here's the thing. I haven't watched it since it came out in like 2001. Also, I'm sure those CGI dragons don't hold up particularly well.
Should I tell people my dragon idea, or do you think somebody might steal it?
That's up to you.
Oh, okay.
That's entirely up to your discretion.
Okay. Nobody steal this, okay? Because I'm really thinking about doing this. So I'm trusting you guys, okay? Anybody that happens on the internet to watch this, I'm trusting it. I want to write a short story, if not a novel, called The Dragon with the Dragon Tattoo. I don't know what exactly it'll be yet, but I really want to do that. I want to make The Dragon with the Dragon Tattoo.
So yeah, a couple of people were just talking about Robots in Disguise. Now it's not as good. And then it's traditional cell animated and things like that.
You know what I just thought of? BB-8 is Bumblebee in this.
Yes. Oh, okay. So Vacuuminator has said that they were intending to do the Dinobots in season 3 and did the Beast Hunter thing instead.
Okay. Bob the Hun, I'm with you. I probably shouldn't tell people good story ideas, but I don't know if that is a good story idea.
It's a good title.
I'm also not sure if I'm ever going to do anything with it, but...
The dragon with the girl tattoo, red letter until suggests.
That's good too. That's good. Yeah, but that's such an obvious inversion. I kind of would rather, I think it's the girl with the girl tattoo, I guess. But we're still in this torture scene.
Yep.
Do you have the thing I do where even when you have a character that's being really endearing in a scene like this, first of all, we can do that really typically, right? Where characters are endearing in exactly the same way. And I mean, it's a coping mechanism. It's a way to get through it. It's a way to make sure that the bad guy doesn't get the information that he gets or satisfaction out of breaking you. But I tend to my eyes tend to glaze over during scenes like this.
Yeah. Bob the Hun asks...
it's hard not to make them all exactly the same.
Yeah.
And they always end in, one or two ways.
It's either they crack or they don't.
Well, it's either they crack or they get rescued.
Kind of wants to know how many years? About an hour, Connor.
Aren't you just kind of... we started at 8 o'clock. Yeah, a little more than an hour now, actually. No, almost 2 hours.
Ooh, I like dropping the sound after the scene.
Yeah, that's cool. But don't you agree, Eric, that usually you're just waiting for the rescue to happen?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Bob the Hun says, also CGI always ages badly. Can you name CGI that hasn't aged badly? Lord of the Rings. The Balrog and Smeagol and all that, they all still look great.
I think there are things in that looked better then than now, though.
And
I don't know that the orcs always look as good as they did, as I felt like they did back then. I'm not sure, but it's been a while since I went back and looked at those.
Well, the orcs are CGI. Most of them are.
Some of them are.
In The Hobbit, they all are, and that was a huge mistake.
I didn't watch any of those.
How do I think a Shane Black directed Transformers movie would be? I don't know.
I don't know that he's right for everything.
But that's not. I wouldn't. He's not a big cast guy.
He's also not a big genre guy. I know he did Iron Man 3, but it doesn't feel arguably as much as a genre film as a lot of those things do. It is a consummate Shane Black film with robot parts. It has the one thing it has. Well, and Extremis, but it has the technology, and that's what it has.
And also people mentioned T2, which T2 does hold up, but less so in HD.
Yeah, I mean there are some things with the with T1000 that just aren't going to look as good as now because it was pioneering that stuff and we've improved.
I mean, it still looks really good. It's that Jurassic Park thing, right? Where Jurassic Park came out, after it, you're like, why couldn't you make it as good as Jurassic Park? Not that holds up completely, but it looks a lot better than everything else for the next decade.
Yeah, because you're shooting real textures. But I hear what you're saying. In that if we're constantly improving on it, then it's hard to believe that any CGI will ever completely hold up. Although I submit there is a point in the in the Pixar order where they all start to hold up.
Yeah.
And really, I think it's around Monsters Incorporated. I think right around there is when some of them will be more detailed after that, but it's a matter of detail as opposed to doing things that now looks better. You know what I mean? You won't have as much texture or as much in general detail, but it still looks good.
Yeah, a couple of people brought up Toy Story and Toy Story 2 is saying that they thought that held up.
Well, Toy Story holds up, but there are
It doesn't look. Here's the thing with Toy Story for me, it's the humans. I think all the toy stuff still looks good.
Yeah,
it's the humans that date it.
There are bits in that still feel like they're not quite these days. Like they're not quite finished rendering them. They didn't feel that way back then, of course. But I mean, think about the night and day comparison. That was during the reboot years.
Which
is kind of hard to look at
and this
now.
has a Pixar issue. This is a thing that is a constant problem on television. Is human skin looks like rubber,
right?
Which is an early Pixar thing, and
it still looks like that much of the time. But we chalk it up to stylized, to it being stylized, and we move
on. People are now arguing about Iron Man 3.
Well, that's inevitable. I still like their faces.
Yeah. Well, and there was
Did they have a toy?
I think you can. I think you can get.
That's a putty I would buy a toy for.
Viacon toy.
We're just gonna call those putties. That's what they are.
Okay.
Well, we can call them Viacon, stupid. Wait, is this the rescue?
This is the rescue.
That took longer than I wish it had.
People are saying Iron Man 3's masterpiece.
Recipe for space nachos. There's a joke about that in Galaxy Quest. Not space nachos specifically, but I think, or am I thinking of something else? I feel like there's a joke in that or some other space comedy thing that I'm thinking of that's like, maybe it's just, no, what am I thinking of? Maybe it's just a recipe for biscuits. I can't remember. There's something about biscuits, but it's not Galaxy Quest. What is it? It's going to drive me crazy all day. Anyway.
And people are continuing to argue about Iron Man 3.
Oh, I was surprised that wasn't a commercial break.
Apparently the fandom, I was unaware of this, although I feel like maybe I heard about this on the Moonbase 2 podcast. Apparently the fandom has decided all of the Viacons are named Steve. Oh, the biscuit thing is a TNG episode. It's a Klingon that says it. Okay. Maybe it's just recipe for biscuits. Yeah, that's what it is. In an episode called The Chase. Yes, that's what it is. Okay. I'm all caught up with myself now. I'm not going to talk about Iron Man 3 here, but I do think Grady Childs is wrong. If you want to know why...
Yeah, can we not get into that?
Yeah, if you want to know why, go watch our Marvel Mania. Or our commentary.
We did talk quite a bit about Iron Man 3. Mm-hmm. Although I'm starting to like that movie more and more every time I see it, so I probably would have more things to say about it now, but...
And Red Leader Antilles just showed up to ask, wait, what about biscuits?
It took me a minute to figure out what I was talking about, and now I have figured it out. And it's from a TNG episode called The Chase, where Klingon is like, is recipe for biscuits. Anyway, it's not important.
Apparently, Red Leader Antilles has watched all of Marvel Mania twice.
Mm-mm.
Oh, no, the Iron Man
3.
Marvel. Okay. That's a little less crazy.
Well, somebody said they watched the Tick Marathon multiple times.
Yeah.
I do like pie. I like pie! The show doesn't take itself too seriously.
No.
But I appreciate that it takes itself as seriously as it does. But that it's able to remember that it's, a fun cartoon. But it's got some, it's got its levity, but it's also got its heavy stuff. So this is an Optimus where just everything he says is gold, right? Like,
it's certainly all epic speed,
or at least we're trying to do that, right?
I actually think I get kind of numb to that in this show. Okay. It's like everything he says has to be the most epic thing you ever heard, and it becomes real. I'm like, I get it. You're real important. Also, this was the part of calling it Prime. This was supposed to be the show about him, and it never really does that.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that.
We get some of that at the beginning of season 2 and at the end of this. Like, there's some interesting stuff, but it's never as deep or as complex as I want.
Because you think it would be about the Primes. Mm-hmm. Like, you think it would be like a history thing.
Mm-hmm.
We're going back. So do we deal with Ratchet having to be a doctor for humans also? I mean, he's in a bed right now, but
I don't remember. Manos and Lo just showed up.
Hi, Manos. Hi, Lo. Getting the gang together. How you doing, guys? We're watching Transformers Prime.
We are watching Transformers Prime.
That's what we're doing.
It's quite a good show.
Thanks for reading comments. I don't know how much more I've been able to actually pay attention to the show, but I'm trying. I feel like people are watching me do homework. That's what it feels like.
Busted Sim asked if we've already
Hi, Busted Sim.
Talked about the comparison between this and Beast Wars, which he feels, or which I personally feel are super close in quality. I agree, but I think Beast Wars wins out because I think season 2 and 3 of Beast Wars are just gold, and I don't know if I love anything in the show as much as stuff in Beast Wars.
I'll have to sit down and finally watch that stuff. You've got it back.
Yeah, I do.
Back there.
Season 1 you can kind of skim. But,
hi, Duke. Duke's here. Wow,
Duke
gang's
here.
all here. Well, not the whole gang, but a lot of the gang's here.
Duke yawned.
There's Connor. Hi, Connor. I guess Connor was there earlier, but I don't think I ever actually said hi to Connor.
Yeah.
No, I'm just suddenly overly sensitive to people I recognize.
Apparently, Connor recently watched the first 3 Michael Bay Transformers films to get caught up to see the 5th one. I'm not sure why.
Well, that would either
you'd survived this long.
That would either make you like so numb and like it's completely corrupted you, and so you would hate 5 because you hated the rest of it, or it would your standards would be so low that 5 would not be as bad as it was to us.
Well, I guess the thing Connor has going for him, having been through the first 3, is the next one's the best one. The next Transformers movie he's going to watch is the best Transformers movie. So
people keep wanting to talk about the new casting for the Doctor. I actually haven't looked it up yet. That came out today.
It is an actress who I'm not familiar with.
Oh, so they did go with a female Doctor.
They did.
I would have bet you money on that. I thought that's where they would go. If you're going to do that, I really like doing it for 13. Just because it's a weird number and you weren't supposed to get that far at one point. I don't know Doctor Who that well, folks, but 12 was supposed to be like the limit, right?
11.
And initially, 11.
11 is okay. No, it's 12 because it's Face of the Clock.
I thought it was 12. Yeah,
it is 12. Face of the Clock. The Human asked me, because I mentioned the Moonbase 2 podcast, so I listen to WTF on TFW. I don't listen to any Transformers podcast regularly because they talk about toys too much, and I just don't care that much about toy news. But I will tune into those shows whenever like a movie comes out, or I want to hear them talk about a series or comic arc or something like that.
Oh, Mano says she was in Attack the Block, which is a movie that somebody talked about on our channel.
It was Manos. It was the yearbook.
I knew it was in your book, but I couldn't remember if it was your pick or his pick.
No, my pick was Young Adult.
That's right, and I don't remember what mine was.
Whatever it was also a movie that came out that year. We all ended up.
We all had to pick. Well, we had to pick movies that year. That was the point.
That was just things that came out that year.
We had to pick. Yeah, but you're right. It did just happen to move movies, but it was that year because it was that year. Yeah.
Oh, she's also in Broadchurch, which I watched the first episode or two of and liked quite a bit and didn't get back to. I don't remember if they ever do a thing with her. I'd like to think they did. I can't remember. But her whole, like, all she wants is excitement. She's always chasing excitement is a thing that needs to be addressed. I don't remember if it actually does or not. That's a wheel with no spokes. Oh, no, there's spokes. Okay. Okay. Oh, yeah. You didn't see them the way he was holding it before.
I was going to say, I wouldn't think that this show would make that mistake. I mean, it's a show about
someone a hack or said hack. I'm not sure who it's in relation to.
No, there was a whole thing about somebody made the joke about nobody says hack anymore.
Oh, okay. I say hack all the time, specifically referring to writers and directors.
Game Station 3 wants to know if I still like The Amazing Spider-Man 2. I don't know yet. We'll find out when I do the rewind. I'm about to start working on that. I like it better than a lot of other people do.
Mano says this is his favorite RC. I agree, but I also don't know if there's a lot of comparison because... like the RC in G1 is just kind of there.
That's like comparing the trillion in the big budget Guardians of the Galaxy movie to the trillion in the 80s TV show. Like there's no comparison. One of these is super shrill and obnoxious, and the other one is not. His conquering army. Yeah, he's got that epic speak for everything.
Apparently, Grady Childs is going to lock us in a basement and make us watch the 5 Transformers films 6 times in a row.
What did we ever do to you?
I don't know.
Why do we have
Apparently,
to do
it's because
that?
we like Transformers 4 better than the other films.
Oh, okay.
But
that was on one viewing.
I did a marathon of the Transformers films. You can find it on the channel.
Yeah, and he still feels the same way about that.
Yeah, and I turned Matt around during that commentary on Transformers 4.
Okay, so. Is that big epic moment at the end kind of just Optimus Prime catching up to stuff we know already?
No. that's the revelation that we are going to shoot a giant dark energon missile into Cybertron and bring them all back from the dead.
Oh, okay.
We didn't know that yet.
I thought that's where the zombies were coming from in the first place.
No.
Or were they on Earth?
They were on Earth.
They were on Earth. Okay.
The biggest battle that ever took place with Cybertronians happened on Earth. No,
I got it. Weird. So that is an actual reveal.
Yes, that is an actual reveal.
Okay, cool, awesome. Well, we're gonna watch the last episode here in a minute of this. That was 4, right? Yeah. Of this 5-part Transformers Prime pilot, Darkness Rising Part 5. So if you're watching with us, up on your Netflix, and get it to timestamp 0. It will skip past the recap, but you want to make sure and get it to the recap just so we all know for sure that we're in sync. Eric, we should break down and find time and go see Baby Driver, because I just everybody's freaking out about that movie, and I'm very interested in it. Yeah, I mean, we just haven't had time to go. Yeah, there's other things that took precedence. So, That Dope Channel, hi there, just came out. How long has this been going? A couple hours. We started at 8 o'clock. And we're going to get into the last episode of this pilot here in just a second. I'll give everybody another minute to get that set up for themselves.
Ian McKay says that he didn't hate the kids in this series, but wondered if a Transformers show could work without kids.
Yeah.
Beast Wars. Beast Wars doesn't have
Beast Wars doesn't have that. Does Animated have it?
Animated does. It has Sorry.
Oh, okay. Was she in the episode we watched?
Yeah, she's the little girl with the key.
Oh, that's right.
Beast Wars later gets primitive humans, but that's hardly the same thing.
Yeah, Chewbacca's lover. I'm sorry about sync issues. Obviously, there can be a little bit of a lag between me saying now and you pressing now. So we do the very best we can. But yeah, live especially, that's tough, because if you're if you're just watching online, it's a lot easier. When it is online, but after the fact, easier to sync that up. That becomes a pain too when you do this with people on Skype. It's really part of the reason that I'm really glad that you and I are actually in the same room now.
Yeah.
Makes this so much easier. All right, folks, let's do it. Here we go. Let's watch the last part of the first of the pilot of Transformers Prime. Here we go. Everybody, please press play right now.
Lo says we have no excuse. She is a newborn.
No excuse for what?
Not seeing Baby Driver.
Oh, that's true. That's fair.
She's seen Baby Driver.
Well, sure, but we probably saw another movie or two that you didn't get a chance to see, Lo.
Oh, and Duke says he has all the excuses. Oh, she was complaining to Duke for not seeing it.
Oh, I see.
He says he has all the excuses because he has 3 cats. And I understand that completely, having had 3 cats before.
I mean, if just one of us was going without the other, but we wait for each other for things. So, and Eric still doesn't have a means of transportation. Do you think one of these days we might get like an entire series that's like I hesitate to say this, I don't know if this is a good idea, but do you think we could get a whole series that's like a flashback show that's all on Cybertron?
I would love that.
You think they can do that?
There's a real popular Transformers comic called The War Within, which doesn't hold up great. I mean, it's not bad, but it doesn't hold up as good as.
Oh, they do the hand coming out of the ground thing. Yeah. I love that. That's one of my favorite movie tropes.
That is a thing we've done, and that is what the video game is. The video game that's part of this continuity.
Right. I knew that.
Is that. I don't know if we'll ever get a show like that, but I'd like it,
because I usually don't care for prequel material like that when it's like we're stuck there for a long time. But there are exceptions where it's such a different story and it's not just a gimmicky thing that's there to be like, someday we'll get to the thing that you actually know and care about. And that's why I want to be really excited about the Sci-Fi Krypton show, because I'm almost more of a Krypton fan than I am a Superman fan.
Well, one of the
there'll be a real story there that's not just someday we'll get to Superman.
One of the most interesting stories told in that early Cybertron stuff tends to be the rise of Megatron and the rise of Optimus Prime. Optimus Prime often starts as something else. Sometimes it's a records clerk. Sometimes but often he's Orion Pax, and the backstory for the IDW comics with Megatron and Optimus is amazing. It's some of the best stuff that they did.
I should look into that then. David Crabtree says that there's a rumor that they might be working on an animated film that would do just that.
I want to say that the Bumblebee film was said to be set entirely on Cybertron.
Interesting. And Mom Yours says that I look like Star-Lord right now. Do I look like Star-Lord right now?
Someone asked where they could get
this isn't
my
a jacket,
shirt.
though. It's just a...
I got this at a store.
Yeah, and you know what? That is the one system shirt I see all the time. Like, I see people with 64
I saw someone
shirts.
with it today.
Nothing else, though.
No.
But I've been saying this to Eric for months. Based on that shirt, I'm going to get one for, like, every system. Like, every major video game system. I think it would be really, really cool to have a wardrobe for every one of them.
Chewbacca's Lover asks, is there romantic tension between Jack and RC? I don't think so. I've always read it as more motherly. She's very protective of Jack. I've always thought of it more as like a guardian. I mean, Jack has a mom, and we'll meet Jack's mom, but the parents in the show are pretty good, as I recall.
Oh, cool.
I'm sorry, that joke channel.
I liked it. What'd you do?
Because I was like, I got this at a store. I don't know. It was a store. There was a store that sells shirts.
That makes me want to open the shirt store.
Maybe like maybe like a Sears or something. I don't know.
Ratchet doesn't want to be stuck on a planet with humans.
Oh, the Bumblebee movie is coming out on Duke's birthday next year, so happy birthday, Duke!
Oh, I'm so getting him a Bumblebee cake. Listen to that. It's the Star Trek theme.
Oh, the third child's the one with the glasses. His name is Raph, which I should be able to remember.
Gravitize! Do it!
Connor, I did not get my shirt at Hot Topic. That's not where it came from. It was like Sears or it was some store in the mall that was one of the bigger box stores.
Here's the thing. The difference between me and Eric is I am a guy that has at one time, I haven't done it much lately, spent as much as $20 on a shirt. Eric Holden has never spent $20 on a shirt.
That's true.
That might not be true. Is that true?
I will not spend more than $10 on a shirt.
I'm that way now. It used to be when it was more of a when I felt like it was more of a novelty to have certain geeky shirts that I never thought I'd get to have, like this one, I would spend that much. And I bought this at Hot Topic for probably close to $20. But I haven't done it in a really long time because geek shirts are all the rage now, and it feels like there's more competition, and so they're cheaper in a lot of places. And you see Hot Topic having to have sales all the time.
Yeah.
Because I think there's a lot more competition now. Obviously, with like online shirt places and stuff.
Apparently, that dope channel spends hundreds of dollars regularly on designer sneakers.
Wow, we're learning a lot about our viewers tonight too.
Yeah,
I love doing these. By the way, I love this intimate setting and just interacting with our viewers for a few hours. And
I once had Aquaman Converse.
I have Joker Converse. Have you seen my Jokers? Yeah,
yeah.
I wanted to get the Riddler ones though. But you had to order them online, and I feel weird about ordering shoes online.
Yeah.
Just because, size and stuff. And my feet are weird. Sometimes it's 10.5, sometimes it's 11. Like,
yeah, and I always go a size too small with Converse. Converse sizes are weird,
yeah.
And my feet burst through them. You saw that happen. I got those right before I got here. And about 6 to 8 months in, my feet were bursting through them. I had to get these shoes. And I said I was going to go get more Converse, but I have not gotten out to the mall again.
Oh, Spencer's has the Batman Converse? I thought the Converse, that stuff was done. Oh, yeah, I forgot all about Raph. You were talking about that earlier. I forgot that was even a character.
Yeah.
He's not going to put on pants. He's a giant robot. That's not going to happen.
That makes sense. You could talk directly into the Transformers' heads, like through a mic, because they're robotic.
Sure. Yeah. That makes sense. They've got like Wi-Fi in there. It's probably not Wi-Fi. There's probably like a particular frequency that it's on. Yes. Oh. Connor's brother Spencer. Okay, I'm caught up now.
Yeah. Yeah, a couple of people said that.
The thing is, I got mine at a mall, so they totally...
And then someone corrected
that totally
someone
could have
saying that Connor's brother is not a chain of stores.
No, he's not. Connor's brother does not sell, like lewd sexual items and also geeky things and also, like, cool lighting things and lava lamps. I mean, he might, but not because he's a store. But I don't think Spencer does that.
Someone said wave at the camera. I did.
Oh, just you?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, no, I don't know. I'm just reading the comments.
I didn't see that comment. I'm trying to watch the show, dude. Leave me alone. Oh, bang, bang! Pow!
Punch.
Bum, 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 bum!
That is one of my favorite things that we do with sound effects in comics is when you make the sound effect the action. It's like you punch someone, it's like PNCH, punch.
So do you agree with this? Mano says that he likes this show because it's like the Bay Transformers done with a sense of respect for the source material, which of course is kind of the way it was pitched. But they don't look like Generation 1, but they also don't look like those Transformers, right? Like
the movie ones?
Yeah.
I mean, there's definitely some movie influence in them.
Yeah, okay.
They're less gray and metally, and they're more distinct.
You can distinguish them. And we don't shoot them like that.
I don't know if I agree with my original assessment that they look like the movie Transformers mixed with the animated designs, but there's definitely some movie influence.
Yeah,
to be sure. Soundwave is taking all the good guys' information.
Are they physically larger or about the same size as the original show?
They are much smaller.
Smaller.
The original show is like Godzilla size, like they're the size of buildings. These are way.
And that's what movie Transformers does.
Yeah. Someone says punch the guy next to you. I don't know if that's a command to me or if he's talking to somebody else, but
I mean, I'll do it. God, that was a punch. Damn. Oh. Yeah, that was swearing. I apologize.
My punches often bring out swears.
Ow. I don't know how you're typing. There's nothing written on those keys. I don't know how you know even. Can you be sure that's home row? Oh well, he can speak Bumblebee speak.
No, all the Transformers can speak Bumblebee speak.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying only Raph can speak Bumblebee speak.
Oh, okay.
I know this is big news, and you're going to want to hear this. A morph box is open.
Dude, no one knows what you're talking about. He's getting alerts on my phone for my Power Ranger game. I play the Power Ranger phone game. I've been playing that for about a week and a half. I'm getting pretty far on that. I'm not really a phone game guy, but I thought I'd try one.
I love how terrifying his tentacle is. Soundwave's tentacle is.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that can go like as long as they need it to.
Someone wants me.
It's like a Doc Ock tentacle
to force you to play Bloodborne, but I've not played Bloodborne, so. But I do know it's super hard, which is why I've not played it because I suck at video games.
Yeah, and people earlier were trying really hard to get me to follow you and play Metal Gear Solid, and I so don't care.
That Joke Channel said he pledged $15 a month on the last marathon because you slapped me, or the first marathon, one of them.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah. Well, we're happy to be performing monkeys if people want to help us out on Patreon. Once again, if we get to the $400 goal tonight, Eric and I are gonna speak Klingon. We're gonna do Klingon Shakespeare in a video. So help us get there, and that will happen. Well, I will force Eric to speak Klingon. It'll be fantastic.
Okay, so Mom, your 170 is the one that keeps giving us commands. He says tap the wall behind you, but I'm not going to.
Well, he also wants you to slap the wall too. And look, Simon didn't say. Okay. Simon did not say. He's going to totally start saying Simon says his name. That's.
Let's see if we can get Cap to punch Eric this time. He punched me back. Did no one see that?
I know, but it wasn't hard, and
I didn't hit you that hard.
No, it's true. It's true. Is it Patreon or Patreon? Well, Patreon's the website. Patreon is what you are if you're pledging. Help us out.
You should make the Patreon goals Cat playing Metal Gear Solid.
So this is just going to be me having to do a bunch of stuff I really don't care that much about.
Oh, Metal Gear Solid 3 is so good.
Yeah, but like be objective for a minute. Is it a thing I would like?
Nope, not at all. You don't like spies. You don't like war stuff.
Yeah, it's not my thing.
You have to pay real close attention to a real convoluted plot.
Well, none of these things sound like fun to me. That's going to be a high goal.
You don't like James Bond.
I don't dislike James
Bond. It's influenced by all of these things.
I don't get super excited about it.
Here comes.
It's on Sword and Sorcery Fantasy, so that's good. Just because I have a YouTube channel called Geekvolution doesn't mean I have to like everything.
Someone suggested we watch Monster High on Monster Energy. I'm not going to watch Monster High.
Yeah, but Monster Energy drinks are okay.
Yeah, no, I like Monster Energy. But I'm not going to watch Monster High.
That is true. I can't get sucked into things I'm not into.
Apparently someone knows a spy you like. His name's Garrick.
Oh, yeah, of course. No, Garrick's great. No, you know Garrick. You met him one time. He's a DS9.
Who is he? Is he a...
He's the Cardassian spy in DS9.
Okay. Look, it's been a while.
I know. We'll get back to it.
He's the guy you keep telling me is the big bad?
No, that's Dukat.
That's Dukat.
No, he's the guy that has lunch with Bashir.
Okay. Oh, right.
No, they do a whole episode, Eric, in the holodeck where they're basically playing 007. It's called Dr. Bashir, I presume, and Bashir is James Bond.
Oh, that's cool. Someone said pretend you're a velociraptor.
I'll think about it.
Trackers says, Cap, you should at least try Metal Gear Solid. He wouldn't know if he likes it or not until he tries it.
That's fair. That's fair.
You just have to go in knowing you're not playing a video game. You are watching a movie with interactive bits.
But in my defense, I've had to listen to Eric ramble on about that a long time, and it never sounds interesting to me.
Oh, it's so good.
I don't want to do a Velociraptor. My Velociraptor impression is obnoxious.
So
I do have one.
Someone suggested marathoning the current Kamen Rider series, which I haven't watched any of. If we marathoned anything, it would be Gaim.
That's the Communicator, right? Yeah. Vac, you're so predictable. If Vac shows up, he's going to try to get us to watch Kamen Rider. Vac has been here in my house, made me watch Kamen Rider.
If we ever watch anything,
but I want to watch the fruit one.
That's Gaim.
I want to see the fruit one.
It'll be Gaim.
Yes,
it's my favorite. That's the one.
Saw Vac last year at the at Paramorphicon. We had a lot of fun together.
So I'm going to defy all expectations, Connor. Connor asked, "Do you guys like Blade Runner?"
He says Gaim's not good.
He's wrong. Gaim's a masterpiece. It made me cry at the end. Well, I was going to cry, but then my roommate got home, and I was like, can't let him see me cry.
Bob the Hun, the answer to your question is, I don't know if I want to have to spend that long on a video game. That's the thing. It's like, yes, I like Skyfall, but I only had to sit through it for 2 hours.
I beat Metal Gear Solid 3 in, I believe, 11 hours, and most of that was cutscenes. Or no, it's 16 hours, 11 hours of cutscenes.
That's what I'm saying. That does not sound like fun to me.
But so Connor asked if we like Blade Runner, if we're of the it's boring persuasion. You haven't watched it in a long time.
Hello, Alan Dragneel. Apparently, we haven't said anything to him yet.
I think Blade Runner is a masterpiece, one of the best films ever made. I also think it's boring. I think it's okay to have that opinion. Why are we talking about Monster High so much? Somebody wants a GoBots marathon.
See, I didn't think you could pick your side as an Autobot or a Decepticon.
Yes, you can.
Oh,
yeah, the military factions.
The fractions. So
Yep.
there's like something else. They're fractions of something else.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what Predacons are. They're a fraction of the.
So if they
Decepticons.
choose a different side, then do they just like magically get a different logo?
It depends. In some stuff, it is like a thing you put on. Like if you remember in Transformers Animated,
part of it. It looks like they were just born with it.
If you remember Transformers Animated, they the Weird Al bot, Wreck-Gar, pulls out the sticker and sticks it to him. So sometimes like
but I thought that was just Weird Al being silly.
In the comics, a lot of times it's actually like a tattoo, like you engrave it in you. There's some really cool stuff with that in the comics.
Oh no. And see, in this show, I mean, I don't want to say just because like we had a token death that it means that like everybody's that you should be gullible enough to think that everybody's on the table. But I don't know, something about this show when RC flies off into space, I'm thinking, I don't know, there's a possibility she could not make it, right? Like, I mean, I know she does in this. I'm just saying, if I'm watching this for the first time,
if I recall, a mark against the show I could give is that they don't ever kill anyone ever again.
Do they not?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Beast Wars kills people left and right.
All right. Show. Maybe I'm giving it too much credit. Man, that theme drives me crazy every time. I know we've talked about it already. It drives me crazy every time.
It didn't bother you in Doctor Strange.
What do you mean?
Isn't the Doctor Strange theme like really similar as well?
No.
I thought Doctor Strange's theme was also really similar.
No, it's not. I think there was a bit in that score that reminded me of it, but the actual theme, no, it's original. No, I love the theme in that movie. Was that a Giacchino thing? I think it might have been. I forget. I think it is. And his Spider-Man score is marvelous.
So this is a thing.
I had that theme stuck in my head after seeing that movie for the first time. That's how good that was.
This is a thing that I have as a in the time and place when the show came out complaint, which is animated puts Megatron out of commission in the opening 3-parter and keeps him out of commission for the majority of the season. This show does this.
Wait on! Sorry.
That keeps coming up and I don't know what it means.
I've explained this to you before, but that's Jeffrey Combs. That's his biggest character in DS9.
Okay.
He's great. We need to get there because you will fall in love with him. Yeah, I thought that was Giacchino.
Yeah. I agree with Daniel Davis. The Dark Knight Returns is really good.
I think with this particular episode, we've talked a lot less about Transformers than anything else.
And someone wants to see Batman in Transformers 6. I second that motion.
Okay, that's a random thing.
Yeah. That's a weird sentence.
What?
You're my first.
Yeah. I'll put some pants on.
It's because he was all tortured now.
Oh, that was me? Man, I hate it when I have ideas and I don't remember that I had them. I hate that.
Can we keep in the comments from arguing about controversial films? Before was Iron Man 3, now it's Rises. Like,
yeah, Eric's got to read over that stuff so we can actually talk about.
Yeah. We know that one of them is one of the best superhero movies ever made, and one of them's most disappointing superhero movies ever made.
Please don't do that. You just asked people not to quibble about that in the comments, and now you're telling them what to think. Please don't do that. Well, that's a movie speech, if I've ever heard one.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's basically doing that end of the first movie speech right now. Right?
Yeah.
That's pretty much what that speech is.
Yeah. But at least, in this, it's not like 2 years before something happens.
Oh, Red Letter Until He says he's trying to tempt us into a flame war.
Oh, okay. Well, stop that. We're watching Transformers. This is
or you anyway.
So should we break here since this is the end of the 5-parter?
I suppose. I mean, we took a longer break a minute ago than I meant to. But we will break for a little bit. Not as long as last time because we had the phone thing figured out.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll do 5 minutes. So let's go ahead and do that. We're gonna jump to the end of the show, right?
Yes.
Was it the plan?
Well, the end of the
season. Excuse me. Okay. So this was Eric's idea. So I for a minute I forgot what we were doing. We're gonna jump to the end of the season. We're gonna watch the last 4 episodes or 3?
Last 4, depending on how much time we've got.
Are we still gonna try that? Because we were only gonna do 3 hours.
Yeah. Where are we at?
And it's 10:30.
Oh, it's
We started at
10:30.
8.
Okay, then let's just do the last 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. No, this is taking longer than we had anticipated.
Yep.
Again, probably because of that last break. But we will go ahead and break for 5 minutes and come back and do those last 3 episodes of this season. And folks, stick around. Don't go anywhere or get up like we are for a couple minutes and come back, and we will finish out our marathon. Thanks for being here, everybody. Hope you're having a good time. And we are excited to do it for another, hour? Yes, indeed. All right, we'll see you in a little bit, folks.
We'll see how well the previously on Transformers Prime catches you up for the whole season.
We'll see you in a bit, folks. Okay, welcome back, everybody. Once again, hold on. I gotta bring this light back over. I keep moving that. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and jump back into Transformers Prime, and we're gonna watch episodes now that I have never seen. Although, in all honesty, there was a lot about that I didn't remember. But like I said, it's been probably, I said 2 years. It's probably been 3, honestly, since I last looked at that. But Eric wanted to also tonight watch the last 3 episodes of the season. So the episode in question is One Shall Rise. It's a 3-parter. Eric says this is more like a 4-parter, but because we're kind of strapped for time now, we're not going to do the first part of it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's technically a 3-parter because it has, the part numbers starting here. So
it's one of those. I think Power Rangers does those too.
Oh yeah, sure. Mm-hmm. And like again, DS9 most certainly does that.
But it's been a while since I watched this, so I don't know what happens to that first part, so I can't catch you up to speed.
Okay, yeah, right now, Eric.
Like episode by episode, I don't remember like I can tell you what happens in the ending of this season, but not episode by episode.
So anyway, we're gonna go ahead and start that right now. Make sure to get it to timestamp 0. Make sure you're not past the recap. And as Eric says, this time it'll be maybe amusing to look at the recap since I haven't watched the last 18 episodes or whatever it is. And let's go ahead and get going. Get ready to press play when I say now. Chewbacca's lover says he's confused. Don't start. Okay, so it's One Shall Rise. It's the end of the season, and it's the first part of that. So One Shall Rise Part 1. Go find that, and get ready to press play when I say now. We'll give everybody a minute, since it seems like folks need a minute. Would you go check Patreon real quick? Yeah. See where we're at with that. One more time, if you're late to the game tonight, we are hoping to hit the $400 mark tonight on Patreon. It's obviously no big deal if we don't. Just asking for help if you are so inclined. But obviously, as always, we really appreciate folks just watching. And if we manage to get to that tonight, we are promising a Shakespeare reading in Klingon. Eric is going to have to.
How do you pull the thing back up? The Patreon's at the same.
Okay. You just go back to the YouTube app.
That's what I did, and it did that.
Well, then I don't know. I guess you have to go back to my Facebook and get to the link again. Oh, it's in Facebook. It's because you opened it up in Facebook. Okay. So it's actually in the Facebook app right now. That's where it is. All right. Anyway, so that's what we're doing tonight. Let's go ahead and get back to Transformers Prime. Here we go. Go to One Shall Rise Part 1 and get ready to press play as soon as I say now. Here we go. Please press play right now.
All right, this is real important.
Okay, I'm gonna watch this. Oh, there's a prophecy.
And planetary alignment.
Gotta have that. Got the stars aligning. Well, planets anyway. It looks like there was a toy car inside of the car.
That Dope Channel says his timing was perfect.
Oh, good. Oh, they're running at each other. You got to have that.
He got hurt.
Something happened to Raph there.
Okay, I thought all this volcano stuff was in the technical first part, but not the. That's kind of what I thought happened that first episode.
Oh, okay.
So there's no big like reveals or anything. Just kind of the setup.
I ask that question all the time. Why the blood of Unicron is erupting from the Earth? Yeah. So I'm expecting these episodes to be real action heavy.
Yeah. I mean, there's lots of plot and stuff.
I mean, it's a Transformers show.
Mythology and stuff.
Obviously, I'm gonna expect some fight sequences and stuff, but so a lot of the at least the first like 3 parts, or even into 4, I guess, in that first episode are pretty dialogue driven.
Great Falls asked why are we skipping One Shall Fall? Just time.
Yeah. Yeah, earlier some folks were saying, "Oh, you guys could do this all night and people wouldn't mind." Yeah, but we have to get up tomorrow, so
yeah, I got work.
Okay, so why does he want to do that?
Unicron is like Transformer Satan.
Okay, but like if Unicron comes out, then he's not in charge anymore.
Yeah, but he's still like a god. Like think of like anything you've ever watched. Like somebody wants to raise like a demon god or something.
Yeah, okay.
It's like that.
That's cool. Oh, this sounds like an intro.
Oh yeah, this show has an intro.
Oh, the first 5 episodes don't.
Yeah, that's because remember they were played as a movie, and I guess they didn't put them on here. But no, I like this intro.
No, it's cool. Okay, so I keep saying the theme is Star Trek, but it's just like there's a theme in the orchestration that keeps coming up, but it's not actually the intro theme. Okay, that's good because that would have hurt that intro a little bit.
That dope channel says most Transformers episodes I've seen, weirdly enough, have had no action or dialogue, only square dancing. Most?
Oh.
Or have you only watched one episode?
Yeah. Maybe he thought they were separate. They were different episodes every time somehow. No, the question is why. No, the question is how. We can just keep going with this all day long. Your phone. No, your phone. That's an obvious joke, but I don't care. I liked it anyway. The Unicron thing. I don't know. That's pretty good.
In the anime only.
That is exactly what you would have done if Bubbles was also in this episode. It's exactly what you would. I gotta see the unicorn. That's Unicron. I want to see the unicorn.
The Japanese only Beast Wars 2, or maybe it's Beast Wars Neo. They're connected. Actually has a Unicron that looks like a unicorn, I believe.
That's hilarious.
Maybe it's Galvatron's unicorn.
Does Unicron ever have a unibrow?
No.
Is that a thing? No. Okay.
No, he's got a real distinct Satan face. I mean, Unicron's design does not change that much from the movie.
This unicorn is
That's kind of just what he always looks like.
He's not cute. He's really scary. And I want to hear Peter Cullen just go through all of the months of the year. June, July, August. That's just not a thing that happens.
So one of the smart things is that his mom is a nurse. So she kind of shows up and helps.
Does she have any interaction with Ratchet? Because she should.
I actually think she does when they first meet.
Okay. That should be a relationship.
Again, with the will Cap try Metal Gear Solid if he reaches a certain Patreon goal? He should consider making it a goal. I don't know why this is the thing of tonight.
I'm not willing to commit on that yet either. I really don't want to have.
I don't think you would like it. I've lived with you for almost a year now. I've never tried to make you watch or play that game.
That just sounds like a commitment to me. I don't know. I'm real picky about video games. And also, I'm in the middle of a lot of projects. Like, I don't know if I want to have to commit to something like that right now. It's nice of people to say they'd be willing, but nobody cares about Klingon Shakespeare. They just want me to do
Metal Gear Solid.
Metal Gear Solid.
That's a way to describe that.
I may agree to it by the end of the evening. Give me some time to noodle it. Yeah, I like Splatoon. I haven't gotten to play it much, but what I played of it, I enjoyed a lot. And who and what and
I like the scale of this.
yeah.
I like how big it gets. Because one of the things I think we do at Transformers is a lot of times when the scale gets big, we go interplanetary. We don't often go complete planet or just like Earth.
I mean, the movies kind of do, I guess, but
yeah. Well, but even then, like, it's not usually things are happening all over the planet. It's we jump from place to place around the planet, and then the climax of 2 is in Egypt, and the climax of 1
right.
is
But this is global catastrophe, and it's the planet, the Earth itself is roped up in the Transformers stuff.
Cats and dogs living together.
Massive step, right? Oh, I guess this is where she has to die so the Transformers can keep their secret identities. Let's get out and go to the overpass, you guys! It's kind of unusual to see a tornado in Nevada. Actually, I don't know if that's true, because I know the desert gets tornadoes.
Yeah.
No, I'm wrong about that. We do get tornadoes. They're not always. I don't know that they're always followed with like a big storm like this. Like I think you just get. Don't you just get like wind tornadoes?
Well, to be fair,
I don't know what I'm talking about right now. I just feel like I've heard that.
It's irregular natural phenomenons.
No, I know that. I'm not even. This is just a side note. Like I'm not even criticizing the show right now. I was trying to make a joke about it. I said my joke didn't work. And then I got hung up. You ever done that? Where then you're trying to figure out the logic of the joke that you decided doesn't work anymore, and then
yep, I'm sure that telephone pole works as an anchor point for that giant robot.
That's a great point. Well, I don't know how deep those go though.
Could they potentially go?
Even if it goes really deep, well, it doesn't look like it broke off at the ground. But even if it does, I don't know. It seems like if he grabbed it, if he yanked on it hard enough, it would just break in the middle. It's a big piece of wood. Well, to be fair, Vac, I didn't watch this entire season, so I didn't realize that was Jack's biggest character moment. Hey, you didn't stop at the stop sign. Hey!
The world's ending.
Oh, okay. And there's no traffic anywhere.
We all know traffic laws are out the window when the world is ending. You've seen Independence Day.
You gotta keep reminding me about that. Ooh, I like the way they're transporting things up in that spaceship. The ring thing is always cool to me.
Mm-hmm.
I always like that as like a stepping stone to transporters.
They also
that's the thing Stargate does.
Yeah, I like that a lot. That's the thing that they do in Stargate.
Oh, I'm sorry.
In a couple episodes of Stargate that I watched.
It's a little different than that. Because with that, they keep it stationary. It's like a ladder, and then it sucks it up. And in Stargate, the rings come down, and then they come back up. And I think they take or no, they beam you up first, and then they come back up. It's sort of like, I don't know. It's sort of like a pattern enhancer or something, where it still beams you, but you still need something to be stationary. It's like that thing in the bank. It just like sucks you up, sort of. He didn't even have to negotiate her down 5 years. She just... that line was probably sort of funny on the page, but that delivery made it great. You better not blow smoke up my oven. God, I love him. That was great. I mean, honestly, these, from what I've seen so far, for this kind of material, these scripts are pretty good. But man, some of these voice actors are what really make it.
Yeah.
It just feels like a production they're really taken seriously. And again, the stories aren't taken too seriously. It's fun, but like we're taking the material we're making seriously.
Bum, bum. See, if this was Spawn, it would be across the panels.
Well, that's true, but it's like always across Ratchet's arms. You notice that? That's just part of his it's always across his arm.
Well, it's because he's an ambulance.
I know, but that's cool. The blood of a unicorn. A lot of people are just talking about people's hair.
And that you should play more story-based video games as a non-gamer to talk about the story.
Yeah. Yeah, people ask me to do that quite a bit. Oh. Something a little Power Rangers about this. Or Power Rangers is a little of this, you know? Like this is like the Zeo Crystal reveal. Right?
Yeah.
This is hilarious though. It's not magma.
As your science suspect.
As your science suspect. Yeah, I don't think it was suspect. I think we know what magma is and we've measured it, and does that mean that just Dark Energon is magma? Is it like, I mean, like, no, you were wrong all along. It's actually this. It's like, no, if it was this like purple goo, we'd have known that.
Okay, so this is the origin of Unicron, all this.
Okay, I'm gonna try to pay attention.
Is Satan.
Back then, animation didn't move. Of course, it has to be 13. It's always 13.
Except for in the movies where it's 7.
Oh, I just mean, you said earlier that was a Transformers thing. I just mean this kind of thing is always 13. You know, so you have like 13 ghosts, 13 monsters. The TMNT movie, it's always 13.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good idea. Let's do that.
Here it is.
Yeah. Okay. So there's that.
There's
thing,
that.
and they stole that for the new movie.
Yep. And
spoiler alert if anybody cares. Yeah. Because I was going to ask you. So he really is the Earth in this.
Yes.
Because when they're talking about it, it's like it formed around him.
Well, yeah.
Okay. Because I got the sense in 5 that it was he is the planet in the first place.
Okay. Well, it's kind of like he can transform into a planet like in the movie, but like meteors and stuff hit him and stuff grew on that.
Okay.
So it's like an M&M.
No Hoon in the comments wants to know where we're at right now. We're watching One Shell Rice Part 1. It's episode 24 of the first season of Transformers Prime. And we're right now about 6 minutes from the end. So you could join us with the next part.
So that's,
when we get finished
that's
here.
Arachnid?
Okay.
Or sorry. Is she called Arachnid in this?
Somebody in the comments just called her that.
Yeah, okay. So
David Crabtree.
So much like there's a lot of stuff that like showed up in animated first that we then put here. She is one of those. In animated we had Black Arachnia. And then we used her again here, but changed her name to Arachnid for some reason. Black Arachnia obviously coming from Beast Wars. But Black Arachnia in animated is super cool. And I like Arachnid in this too.
Nathan, I like Stripes too, but I've never bothered to watch Caddyshack. I was having a conversation just with somebody the other day about Caddyshack, and then I need to finally watch it.
I like.
Oh, I guess it was Manos. We talked about that last night. Yeah.
I like Bart's Cat. There are things in Caddyshack I don't like, but it's a good movie.
He compared it. We were talking about UHF, and he compared it to UHF.
Okay.
Okay, we kind of are the planet.
There he is.
Oh. So who's voicing that?
I assume it's Tony Todd.
That's not Tony
Is
Todd.
it not? Because I saw Tony Todd in the back. I was like, oh, he must do Unicron.
That's not Tony Todd.
Okay, I don't know. I can look it up on my phone. I can dual phones. I'll dual wield phones.
No duel the phones, because then only one phone will survive. And no, but whoever this guy is, he's got kind of like a Star Trek V God thing going on.
Mm.
But he would be great for Galactus. John Noble, Scarecrow and Arkham Knight. That does kind of sound like Scarecrow and Arkham Knight. Okay. That dope channel. I just don't have a Transformers shirt. That's all. This is just the shirt I was wearing today.
I used to have a Transformers shirt, but I must have lost it in the movie.
So no, I'm not going to wear a Transformers shirt for the Power Ranger stream. Although since we're doing a Power Ranger stream, I probably should have saved this shirt because it is the only Power Ranger shirt I have.
Since people are just telling us who voices who, who's Tony Todd voice in the show?
Yeah, if Tony Todd is in the show. Well, you said he is because he's on the back of this.
Somebody asked who
Deadwing.
Oh, okay. It's Dreadwing. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yes, it does say Dreadwing. Sorry.
So somebody asked who I think the ideal director for Transformers would be.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I'm still not convinced that that's a great idea for live action. Like,
yeah, I kind of agree.
I'm not saying it can't be done well. I just haven't seen it yet, so I don't immediately know who the guy is.
He's like part of the planet.
When you have something where that's cool. When you have something where it's so much, where like so much of the directing job is taking human beings on green screen and putting a bunch of CG around it, I never know who the right person is for that. Like,
yeah, like my gut instinct is to say James Cameron.
Yeah, sure.
But that's real obvious and right there. Also, Connor asks if I've seen A Cure for Wellness. No, but I intend to. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. I'm waiting for a used copy to show up at work so I can rent it.
Okay, so he actually can come out of the planet.
Yeah.
I don't want to give 5 any credit at all because I hated that movie, but it's at least different from this.
Yeah.
Like, they did make it the planet. Like, if he transformed, he would, like, kill everyone and blow up all the buildings.
That's the case here, too.
Oh, it is?
He is manifesting himself through the planet. Like, manipulating.
Okay, but if he's able to just come out like this, or is this just, like, a part of him or something?
Yeah, this is just him manipulating the materials of the Earth to make, like, a drone.
Okay.
That he's speaking and communicating through.
I understand.
Yep.
Take that, Optimus Prime. Oh, you know what? If he said Maximum Overdrive in episode 5, I missed it entirely.
Oh, yeah, he did. It was after they rolled out into the
I didn't get to freak out or anything.
I thought you said something about it.
No, I didn't. We were talking about something. That is my new favorite Transformers thing. I seriously want that t-shirt really bad. Like I gotta get that made.
Chewbacca's lover suggests Andy Serkis for clown/violator. That's right there. Yeah.
Right there. But you can say that about so many like CG type creatures.
But I think Andy Serkis could play clown.
Yeah. Physically.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. And then he could mocap the Violator part and just make it big.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be really, wouldn't that be, I mean, that'd be a lot of fun for him because he'd have to do the whole clown thing and then also the Violator thing. And violate! Dun, 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 dun. Oh, wow, that's already over?
Yep.
My God. Well, I guess I just said a little bit ago. It was only 5 minutes, but boy, that felt a lot faster than some of those others.
But yeah, so when I got to this, my mind was kind of blown. I was like, oh man, they're doing. That's a really cool way to do Unicron. I've never seen that before.
Oh, weird. And you know what? I was definitely, like David Crabtree, I was definitely paying attention during that part when they went through the land bridge because that was really cool. Oh, so he said Maximum Overdrive just before he said gravitize, and I mentioned gravitize.
Yeah, he says maximum overdrive to go through it, and then when they go through, he says gravitize.
I must have been talking about something else while that happened. Gravitize is pretty cool too. Okay, that was fun. So we move on now to the penultimate episode for tonight, One Shall Rise Part 2. So make sure to get your Netflix to that if you're watching it on Netflix, and your DVDs if you're doing that. We will give you a minute and let you get there. Get it to timestamp 0. Once again, make sure that you're not skipping the recap because we are watching that. You want to make sure that you're synced with us as well as humanly possible. If I agreed to this this Metal Gear Solid thing, Eric, which one?
3.
And I know that's your favorite. I just didn't know if that's what you would have me look at.
Well, no, because 3's a prequel, so it requires no prior context.
Okay.
I think if you weren't gonna like try and play the whole game, 3 also works because the whole opening, like it plays like a cold open where like you go on an adventure and then there are credits that start. So you might be able to just go ahead just doing that.
How would we do it? Would it be like a thing where we play it and then we talk about it, or like would we talk over it? Because I don't think that would be a good idea. I'd miss everything. Like, yeah, I'm not sure exactly how we'd do it if I did it. If anybody has suggestions, I'm still considering it. I don't love this idea, but I'll consider it. Okay, let's go ahead and go on now to the next episode. One Shall Rise Part 2. Get ready to press play. Here we go. Everybody, please press play right now.
Also, someone asked, I haven't played Metal Gear Solid 5 yet. I intend to, just haven't gotten around to it. It's comprised of Unicron.
I'm afraid it might not be magma, as your science suspected. That is one of my new favorite lines in anything. It's so outrageous. That is preposterous, Eric. This is so much fun.
Yeah.
I kind of have a hard time imagining beating the show. Like it seems like, and I mean, I've heard people call this so far like the definitive Transformers show. I don't know if you agree with that, but like this just seems like kind of what I would want in a Transformers show. Yeah. Not being a big giant robot guy.
I don't know if there was any Transformers show I would call definitive, but my favorite's still probably Beast Wars. But nothing's nailed exactly what I love. Like this is all on Earth, and like I like my Transformers out in space and stuff. And I think it's the definitive of kind of the cycle we're in now of just redoing G1 over and over. It's certainly better than any of the Unicron trilogy, although I really like animated. I'm not sure. The sensibilities are so different, it's real hard for me to compare animated and Prime.
Yes, Spread Letter Antilles, it is. It is nostra preposterous.
See, look, there's a bunch of Unicrons.
Yeah, okay. He made his own putties.
Yeah. Yeah,
and they're more like movie putties.
Yeah.
Which is taking a lot of its cues from the Transformers films.
Yeah.
You see, it all comes back full circle.
It's an Ouroboros?
Right. Yeah, it's one of those.
I always stumble over that word.
Yeah, I'm not saying it right now. I'm not going to do it. Some people are saying if we did the Metal Gear thing, just how I felt about, or he made me play where we just do like pieces of commentary, or like record the whole thing and then I splice together some commentary.
Okay, I'm not making you do this. This is not. I would never make you play a video game like that.
I appreciate that.
This is on the subscribers. I mean, I love Metal Gear Solid 3, but I don't know what you're going to get out of it if you don't play the whole thing.
I'm not sure why people want me to do it. Like, I'm afraid it'll be really disappointing and not interesting. Like, I don't know that I'll have any insights or anything. Maybe you just want to see me frustrated. Maybe that's the whole thing. But that is a cool intro. I wish it had a less generic theme song. It isn't even a theme song, it's really just a score.
Yeah.
You know what that makes me want to do, though? Makes me want to take the movie Transformers song.
Someone missed the now.
And put it to that. I said now.
I know. Someone missed it.
Well, it's possible that we glitched out or something.
Or that he just popped in.
But it's possible we glitched out. Yeah. Sorry, folks. Yeah, Red Learn Tillies. I'm sorry about that. With the Arkham Knight walkthrough, there are a couple of reasons that never got finished. I lost some footage and. And there's bits toward the end of the game I just don't want to have to go back and play through again. I don't like to leave things unfinished. I'm sorry I never finished that. But since it's not new anymore, it's been hard to make myself go back.
Well, yeah, because he's the whole planet. That would follow that he could find you anywhere on him.
Yeah. I do feel like Optimus is a little slow on the uptake in the show sometimes.
Somebody suggested Michael Bay should direct Geekvolution. Whatever that means.
I mean, it would be interesting.
We'd be a lot more orange. You would not have to worry about lighting. It would all be orange.
We'd be orange?
We would only shoot videos as the sun is coming up or going down.
Yeah, that's
only
true.
a magic hour.
I didn't know what that meant for a minute. Yeah. That's true. A magic hour Geekvolution. Yeah. And I also think that it would focus on people who aren't us most of the time. Don't you think? We'd be real in the background, and he would find some way to make us really expensive to render.
Mm-hmm. We'd always be sweating.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And in slow motion a lot.
And really crude, not appropriate for children.
And when we were in the really right. We would like our characters would say it was family friendly, but then it wouldn't be. And we would also market the film as a family friendly movie.
That Jump Channel suggested that every video would be like After Dark.
Whoa, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, except you wouldn't be able to see what was going on a lot of the time.
And we'd still sell it as a family friendly channel.
The action would be shot real close up. Like anytime we were talking or moving at all, it would just be like really close up. And we'd be the first video would be in the middle of a city, and then the next video for some reason would be in the desert.
Yeah. And sometimes we would walk through a doorway, you would follow us through the doorway, and we'd be in a completely different state. That happens in Transformers 2. They're in Washington, D.C. They go into a museum, and they come out the back, and they're in Nevada.
And we get some great actor who should have had a better career, but gets stuck in our stupid movies.
Oh, man, if I get to meet John Turturro, I'm fine with that.
We'd have that. Mano says he'd have Eric straddle a bucket shorts.
I don't wear shorts. That's not going to happen.
I don't either. That's the thing we have in common. I own 0 pairs of shorts.
I also own 0 pairs of shorts.
And I own a couple pairs of swim trunks, but I can't tell you the last time I swam. I used to swim a lot, though.
I don't own swim trunks.
Do you swim?
Not with other people around.
I mean, like, are you capable of swimming?
Oh, no, I'm a good swimmer.
You can swim. You just don't like to swim. Okay.
Yeah, I don't like swimming around people.
I don't care to either, really. But yeah, I used to pay to go to an indoor pool, and that was my primary form of exercise at one time. But it's been years since I've done that.
Once during the summer,
every day. I used to go, or like 5 days a week. I used to go swim.
Our neighbors had a pool, and they let us use it. And I used to swim in the mornings.
I love how this is what we're talking about. This is happening. He's about to put his foot down on RC. Why did it take him that long? She should be dead. Oh, I like his giant bone wings.
Yeah,
that's cool. Although I'm not sure, like, does he have any limitation on how much power he can use or whatever? Because there's no reason he couldn't have like 50 of those giant versions of himself right now.
There doesn't seem to be an explanation.
I always hate that.
Oh, Megatron happened.
Oh, twist. Bone Wing Man!
Really, Connor? You hated Pain and Gain, worst film of the decade? I love Pain and Gain. I thought it was really fun. It's hilarious. And easily the best thing Michael Bay's ever done.
Okay, so why has Megatron changed his tune here?
Because Unicron was like, I don't need you.
Well, he should have. That's my point from earlier. Is he should have expected that to happen.
Right, but how many movies? Pretend it's a human and it's a demon. How many times have you seen that? Where it's like, I'm going to resurrect this ancient demon god. And the demon god shows up, it's like, I don't need you. I'm a demon god.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I guess for whatever reason, it's hard for me not to imagine that you'd have a better sense of it when it's a transformer, but I guess you wouldn't. I guess it's still an ancient god thing.
Yeah.
Like, no, you're right. I mean, it's difficult not to be clouded by the fact that I've seen that before, and I've seen it with this material before, too.
Chaos Bringer. So that is a thing is in when all of this mythology was created back in the day in the UK comics, there was one being called the One.
So that's where what comes from? Like, does Unicron come from there, or
well, Unicron originally premieres in the
movie? Okay, you know what? I knew that. I just
but all of the mythology kind of stuff with Unicron comes from the UK comics.
Okay,
and the at the dawn of time there was the One. It is the only thing that existed in the universe. And the One split off into two things. One was Unicron, and one was Primus. And Primus was order, and Unicron was chaos, and it's all very biblical.
So magma, then?
Yeah. Well, no, it's not. I'm sorry to say that, unfortunately,
I fear your science suspects that it is not. As your science,
it is not magma.
We're getting a real good sense of Ratchet's worldview here.
Hey, this is upfront about it.
Yeah, Ratchet really does have that like Dr. McCoy realist thing going on. I mean, he would be the guy who in Star Trek II would be like, and then here comes Genesis.
That's a pretty McCoy line.
It is. Yeah, he's very much we have to learn from our past, or we're doomed to make the same mistakes. And also, doing a bad thing is always a bad thing, even if it's even if your heart's in the right place.
The road to hell is paved with good intentions.
Right.
Well, we do have a land
bridge. Yeah, ground bridge. You see, you're doing it now. Oh, they are going to do it that way. Okay, cool. Yeah, no, let's do that. That sounds awesome. That makes an okay point that a lot of Doctor characters are written that way. I do think McCoy is a big inspiration on some of those, but yeah. Commercial break.
Oh, I didn't think of that.
The Matrix of Leadership, of course. I've heard of that. Why have I heard of that? Where is that? I've heard of that.
That's in the movie.
Okay, that's what I thought.
That's what makes Hot Rod and the Rodimus.
That's right, okay. I was just making sure I was right about it, because I was like, no, I'm pretty sure I know about this Matrix thing.
Essentially, it's Primus's spark, so it's kind of like God's soul, to put it in biblical terms.
But yeah, of course, to what we were talking about a minute ago, of course, it makes a lot of sense that most doctors would feel that way because they're life first, before anything else, and that's very virtue-based as opposed to ends-based. Raphael is correct. Yes, Bob the Han, I'm thinking about it. But even Eric isn't excited about this idea.
No, because I don't think you're going to like it. Like, if you went in with a real open mind and like,
I'm not saying I won't be open-minded. I'm just not like immediately excited about the idea, and that sounds like a lot of time and effort to put into a thing that I just did not immediately jazzed about.
And I actually own 3 for the PlayStation 2. I have it here.
Okay.
It's not the remastered version.
I also
camera angles, but
well, we could look into maybe seeing if we can get.
I work in the video game store. It's not difficult to get a hold of if we had to. It's also.
Well, I mean, is the remastered on PS4?
No. There was a like second version that was released on PS2.
Oh, okay.
That has better camera angles, but there is a remaster on 360 you can get.
Oh, okay. Well, that would be the way to do it.
All 3 games.
The reason I'm asking is because it would be easier to capture it. Yeah. I have a way to capture from composite, but it doesn't always work right. We tried that with 007 on 64. Remember that? And it came out real jagged and pixelated. So we have to test it to see if it would even work. But I know for sure I can capture 360 because I've done it a lot. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, there is a version that has all 3 games.
Okay, that'd be the way to do it. Head Dope Channel says it's irresponsible of us to not have me do that before I watch any more anime. What do you think of that?
I'm talking Kevin Blake. I don't know what. I don't know what one has to do with the other. So, and he also suggests Trigun, which I think you'd like the back half of, but not the first half. I don't know how it's irresponsible. I don't know. I've never done this before.
And apparently everything we thought we knew was wrong. Magma is Dark Energon. I don't understand anything anymore. Okay, sometimes when he talks, his face looks weird. You're right. Because he looks like he has enormous teeth.
Mm-hmm.
I like how somebody wrote Cap and Logan.
Yeah.
Both of us.
It says rarely mentioned screenwriters. I don't know what that's about.
Yeah, I don't know.
He corrected himself.
I'm sorry for making fun of you about that, but I just glanced at it. And...
Headline says all their faces look weird.
Yeah, I'm with you. Magma!
Now it's just talking about animes you should see. So...
Unicron kind of looks like a monster out of God of War or something.
Yeah, I can see that.
He's got a little bit of a Greek god thing going on. And also like every McFarlane monster ever.
Yeah, he punched to his face.
Ugh! Okay, but like there's, a million more where that came from.
Which is still less sadistic than Optimus in Transformers 2 saying to the Fallen, give me your face, and then tearing his face off.
Is that what he says? Does he give me your face?
He says, give me your face,
Holy
and then
crap.
tears his face off. I really like how green he was.
Here I was all excited about Supergirl last season going, I'm going to punch you in the face! That's what I'm going to do!
But there was...
He says, give me your face?
But yeah, and then there's a line...
remember that. I've only seen that one
There's
time.
a line in Transformers 4 where he says a swear word, and Peter Cullen made a big deal about how Optimus would never say that. And you all know the line Optimus would never say. I was like, is it give me your face? Because that was 3 movies ago. No, and I'd like to think Optimus Prime would never say, give me your face.
No, Grady Charles. I was talking about Todd McFarlane. I spent 2 years making a show called Spawn Year. If I say McFarlane, just assume I'm talking about Todd McFarlane, not Seth MacFarlane. I understand why you could be confused by that. And it's not like I've never brought up Seth MacFarlane, but generally, if I just use the last name, I am talking about Todd McFarlane. Give me your face. I'm going to start saying that to people.
I don't understand how that... He said like one bad word in Transformers 4, and that was his line. Optimus would never say that. You all know that. But give me your face is fine.
Well, let's not pretend like that was a consistent character that had any particular
he consistently becomes crazier and crazier.
Yeah. And the movies just pretend like he's still, a great guy.
Yep. It's real Man of Steel.
Has some sort of an ideology or something. I mean, I couldn't tell you what that guy's brand of ethics was code was. F you, Optimus.
Yeah, I also laughed at that.
Optimus would never say that. I don't know. I think that Optimus would totally say that.
That Optimus could say anything. That Optimus could just start screaming and shooting.
Great, that was their one. That was their one F-bomb. I wouldn't put anything past that franchise. I didn't get to see a lot of that maturity happening, so I'm just going to assume that it did.
It happens mostly naturally.
Okay, that's good.
I want to believe that.
But okay, bye!
Sure.
See you later! Bye!
He's got to dramatically walk away. So Crabtree's angry that we're not going to see this pay off with Prime and Jack in season 2. You can keep watching. Even after we're finished, you can keep watching.
We just only have so much time in the day, like... I mean, I might eventually go back to the show and continue watching myself, but...
But you do have all of it.
You didn't say Maximum Overdrive.
Well, you didn't transform.
Maximum Overdrive. How does Unicron not know where everyone is all the time?
The Matrix cloaks them.
Oh, okay. I'm sure they said that and I missed it.
That Dub Channel says Geeklution Patreon membership means you are only allowed to watch what Cap and Eric watch when they watch it.
That's right. Man, I feel bad. We should broadcast more often. It's not fair to all these folks who never get to watch any TV. Sorry, guys.
That's cool.
Yeah, that is cool. It's a creepy eye. Is that how the episode ends? That's cool. That's really neat. I'm digging on that. That's cool.
Someone wants to know how often you receive death threats.
Has that ever happened? That's never happened. Not to me. Not to me. I don't believe. I've had other kinds of threats, but I don't think specifically that.
I'm going to kill you.
Yeah. Okay, I've got one. But Eric doesn't count because he says this all the time. He's not real menacing either. He's like, he doesn't like bragging. He's like, I'm gonna kill you if you don't mind. That's what he says. All right, so we're gonna here in a second, here in a minute, we'll give everybody some time to load it up. We're gonna watch our last episode for tonight, and so I haven't talked for the last few minutes. I'm just suddenly kind of getting sucked into this. We're gonna watch the last episode of season 1 of Transformers Prime. It's episode 26 on Netflix. It's One Shall Rise Part 3. Make sure to get it rigged up if you're watching it along with us, and get ready to press play when I say now. Eric, real quick, before I say the next thing, would you run to Patreon and see if anybody else has pledged tonight?
Absolutely.
Thanks, buddy. We're going to be broadcasting for another half hour or so.
The page is reloading. The page is reloading.
We need songs for that because sometimes there's a lot of load time.
It's the same.
It's the same. Okay. That channel. How much money do I have to throw at your Patreon to do a Space Coast Coast to Coast marathon? Eric and I have talked about doing that. I don't know what a marathon on that show would look like.
We kind of do that already.
We do. And part of the problem with it, of course, is that's not the easiest show to get a hold of, especially the later seasons.
To Facebook. Sorry, I don't know how to do things.
It's right here.
Oh, okay.
Except now it's not there. Oh no, I'm sorry. It's Messenger.
Okay. Cool.
Because that's where I sent the thing.
Yes.
Anyway, okay, so we are sitting at the same spot as we were a little bit earlier. We're going to be broadcasting, like I said, another 25, 30 minutes. If we hit the $400 mark tonight, I will. Okay, we got to go over it. We got to go at least $5 over it. If we hit 400, we'll do the Klingon thing like we said we would. If we hit 405, if we hit anything past 405, I will agree to do something with Metal Gear Solid. I'm not promising what yet. I don't know how we'll do it. There's a few folks that really want me to do something on that, and I'm not excited. I will certainly be as open-minded as I can, and I will go into that, and I will see if I love it. But if folks really want me to do that, if we can get past 400 tonight, I'll do it. But it might be how we felt about. It might be he made me play, watch, whatever. I don't want to. I'm not going to promise a full playthrough. I don't know what exactly we'll do on it. But if you really want to see us do it, then that's what it's going to have to be. So let's go ahead and get into Transformers Prime, the last episode we're doing this evening. Here we go. So One Shall Rise Part 3. Hope everybody's there, ready to roll. Here we go. Everybody, please press play right now. Maximum Overdrive.
It's not his thing.
Oh, it is now. He said it twice. It's his thing. I can't believe he said it twice. If he says it anymore in the series, it's his thing.
Do you remember
David Crabtree? Is there another place where he says it? Because you knew exactly where it was in 5. Is there another place? Is there another place? There's got to be another place. There's got to be another place. If the Metal Gear goal isn't reached tonight, will you try it again another night? I don't know, man. Like, I'm not going to promise anything.
Probably not.
Probably not. And some of that with Patreon is just because we'll probably have to buy that game. Also, keep in mind that if you pledge, you don't have to continue to pledge forever. You could jump in for a month to help us do a thing you'd like to see us do, and then come back out. Yeah. And we appreciate anything and everything folks do for us. But part of the reason that we plug Patreon as much as we have lately, as I've said before, is because everybody's revenues are down real hard on YouTube because of the ad boycott, and I'm trying to get our revenues up and past where they used to be. It's real tough right now, so we appreciate it, and I'm just trying to give folks cool stuff for helping us out. This all looks great.
David Crabtree says he only says it in the opening 5-parter, but someone else said they looked it up, and he also says it in the episode Convot.
See, they're thinking about it. Like. Do
you remember from childhood what Optimus Primal's thing was?
No, because I've only seen a couple episodes of that. What was it?
When things go poorly, he says, "That's just Prime."
Oh, that's nuts.
And Megatron's thing is yes.
Hey, thanks for that. Somebody in the comments said that that the reason people want to see me do video games is because of the Arkham reviews. But sometimes people want to see me do gameplay, and I don't understand that because I'm not a great gamer. Sometimes I think people like seeing me like screw up a lot and having a hard time getting stuck places and things like that. Because I'm not great at video games.
I'm also not good at video games.
Well, that's unfortunate.
And we'll never mention that again.
Honolulu's under 6 inches of snow, you guys.
So Chewbacca's lover says he doesn't want gameplay. He just wants to know your thoughts on the story.
Oh, okay.
We could maybe just watch the cutscenes. I mean, that's a thing that's on YouTube.
Yeah. I like trying to experience things, at least to some degree, the way they were intended.
And you should, because there's some really fun like gameplay mechanic stuff.
Yeah. Because that, of course, will affect your read on the story and your perceptions of it. Oh, but that would be an interesting show, wouldn't it? Where they reverse places for some reason.
There is a mirror universe called Shattered Mirror.
Of course, there is.
That is that. I believe Megatron's pink, but I might be wrong.
Oh, so they just did a Star Trek Mirror Universe thing.
Yeah, it was a Transformers convention like exclusive where like they put out figures and they made a bunch of like background story and like it's a flipped universe. I want to say it's Shattered Mirror. Shattered Glass.
Yeah.
Correctly.
I was going to say, it'd be weird if they use Shattered Mirror, because that's a DS9 episode. And when we've done that with the Mirror Universe, like, it'd be really strange if they called it that. So this is just how we do flashbacks in this, then. Mm-hmm.
So this is why Megatron's not the worst guy.
Oh.
He was a real, like, for the people kind of guy.
Oh, okay. Oh, interesting. I really like this.
Yep.
Yeah, I like this idea that Megatron's not just straight up evil, and I think you can have characters that go off the deep end and go past a certain point where they become that, but they weren't that way in the first place.
In the IDW stuff, he starts as a pacifist.
Interesting.
And he's tortured and changes his mind.
Yeah, well, and I mean, like, if you're a complete and total pacifist and you never think you should ever do violence, then arguably you could say that's also maybe an extreme way of looking at things. So a person like that is too, that's affected, in a really extreme way, could go totally on the other end. I love the word thwart. I just love it.
It's a good one.
Yeah, Vac, I can't imagine reading a Transformers prose novel. I have a tough time with things that are this visually driven, going to. I've done it with things like Batman and stuff, but like I'm used to what everybody looks like, and Batman's more of like a straight up detective thing. Like it's hard to or usually can be. It's I don't know. I can't imagine.
And there aren't really any good Transformers prose novels. Although I didn't read the last one, the Retribution or whatever it was, that distinctly is a Transformers Prime tie-in. I didn't read that one, but the first two were not good. Exodus and Exile.
Daniel Davis says so much exposition and setup. Stop, let it stop.
I don't mind this. You're telling a legend or history.
Yeah, I mean,
two people that have no way of knowing this information.
Yeah, why do they know that?
Well, no. Ratchet would make sense that Ratchet knows, because he was there.
Oh, okay.
I mean, he's explaining it to characters that have no way of knowing.
Oh, I think you meant there were two people that wouldn't know this.
No.
He was explaining it to these people. Yeah. I see. Yeah, because then I was going to say, well, like, Megatron could have, or even if Ratchet wasn't there, like, Optimus could have told him about it. Yeah, okay.
Well, I mean, technically, it's your giant planet. Like, I think you go anywhere on the planet, and Unicron Spark would be near.
Now we could have gotten that. Well, that's not necessarily the case, right? Like, it would be.
I mean, not as near as it is now, but.
Well, why? I mean, like, is the Spark any bigger than anybody else's Spark?
I think so. He's planet size. It's been a while since I saw it, but I'm pretty sure it's a big Spark.
Oh, okay.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this.
I wouldn't make that assumption immediately. That would be like assuming a person's soul would be huge because they're giant.
Do you not assume that?
No, I don't. I don't assume that. I also don't assume it's corporeal like a Spark would be. But oh, Daniel now says he was kidding.
That's good.
Somebody just said they're lamenting Baldur's absence from the MCU now because of this talk about pacifism. Yeah, fair enough. When you finally get through that stuff, like, Baldur's really interesting. Get him! Bams! Pow!
He's got antibodies.
Uh!
You see stuff kind of like this in the movie. This is really an extension of that stuff in the movie. They're going through his body.
Right. Is that Arachnid person?
No, that was RC, wasn't it?
Oh, it was?
Or was Black Arachnia here as well?
Was that
I thought she was back with the Decepticons.
Oh. It was a lady Transformer that didn't look like RC to me.
Okay. Maybe it was Black Arachnia. You kind of have no sense what's going on with the Decepticons. Just
not really.
The beginning and the ending.
Yeah.
There's a lot of manipulations and backstabbing across the season.
Well, that's what I would want. Yeah. That's fun. The slow motion is silly, and we shouldn't be doing it in a cartoon. Stop it!
Enter wants to know if anybody else is watching outside near a dumpster.
What?
Apparently he's watching outside near a dumpster.
That's hilarious. Did I ever tell you about the GNN that Vince and I made all those years ago now, where we were pretending to review the person on the other side of the camera? It's called We Review You, and we were like really vaguely talking about whoever is on the other side of the camera, and then increasingly we start getting really specific. And there's a bit where, or actually maybe we didn't get really specific, but people started at one point, like there's a part where I start pointing at things, and I'm like, that thing over there. People would get in the comments and tell me what I was pointing at, and sometimes it was really fun how it lined up. And I think there was one that I called where, like, with one person where I was like, that thing, and it ended up being that thing. And I think it was like, it said something about somebody at like a McDonald's, and somebody was actually at a McDonald's, but I can't remember what it all was now. But anyways,
yeah, there's Black Rat.
Wow, she's got some gravitas.
Yeah.
I mean, that must have been RC, but her coloration looked different. But maybe it was just the lighting.
So that's Knockout and the guy whose name I can never remember because he's boring. They're also Decepticons in the show.
Boring Tron.
He's the big, dumb, violent bad guy. Like, you've seen that character. Sorry. His name is Breakdown. Oh, okay.
There's a thing I really want to say that requires me to, like, slightly, almost, kind of, sort of swear.
Hmm. What is it?
Boring ass Prime. If you had a Prime that was just really boring.
Yeah. Snoozimus Prime.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's not really transforming. It's not as impressive when you just make your wings legs.
Yeah, it's not exactly a metamorphosis or anything. Yeah, thanks, guys. I'm glad somebody appreciated that more than Eric over here. I thought it was pretty funny, but Eric holds me to a higher standard, I think. I like her coloration a lot.
Yeah.
And her voice actress is really good.
Yeah, and she's real creepy.
But I gotta say, everybody's cast right in this.
Yeah.
Man, I'm gonna have to just sit down and actually watch the show.
It's pretty good.
You know, I'm trying to do that right now, but people keep distracting me. You know, I don't know why we invited 40 people over while we watched the show. I don't know why we did that. Shh! I'm watching Transformers. Shh!
Oh, that's Gina Torres.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, there you go. That's why. That's why it's great.
I like whatever is on Miko's shirt. I wouldn't mind having a purple T-shirt that has that thing on it. It's adorable. Although everyone probably
you want
thinks it's from Minecraft.
You want to adore an adorable shirt?
I mean, yeah, because it's a deep pull reference to Transformers.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But everyone would think it was Minecraft. So
I'm a sucker for purple in general. It's one of my favorite colors. It's my favorite color. Like especially specifically like a darker shade of purple, like a deep purple. The band's okay too, but I much prefer
like a royal
the
purple.
color. Yeah, royal. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I like royal purple and forest green. If I have to be real specific. And black.
We used that color a lot at my wedding.
Because you love purple.
Purple flowers and stuff. Yeah, I know. And every time I bring up purple, my wife does that too. She's like, "Oh, I love purple." It's always funny. It's funny every time.
Gotta shoot all these drones. We gotta shoot all these drones.
Yeah, sometimes this feels a little bit like a video game, which is part of why the slowing it down is always silly. Because it looks like you're just slowing down video game footage.
I don't know if there's so much shooting nothing that I would say this could have been 2 parts, but I think it borderlines on it.
Yeah. I am questioning whether or not the exposition about who Megatron used to be and that he wasn't pure evil couldn't have been earlier in the season.
Yeah.
And it does sort of feel like we're giving it just now so that we buy his motivations here.
Well, I think it's supposed to explain why Prime trusts him at all.
Yeah, but it feels real retroactive, like they didn't have that in their back pocket the whole time. And that does seem like a reveal that would be really cool to get in the last episode of your season. But I'm not real sure why we weren't talking about it earlier, unless and it kind of makes Optimus seem like he's got to like keep that a secret from people so that they don't sympathize with the enemy too much. I mean, we are just saying it to the kids, so maybe all the other Transformers know it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's the impression I get. Is that's just the moment that the kids found out.
Okay, if I were them though, I would have asked more things about Megatron earlier, and it seems like it would have come up unless they were intentionally hiding it from them. That's what my instincts are telling me. Like, why wouldn't that have come up at some point?
Well, not having rewatched the whole season, I don't know if there's a moment where it would have been more appropriate.
Yeah, exactly, because I didn't either, so... I mean, I've never seen the rest of the season. Get him! So it's fun that we've got this. We've got the whole thing with Unicron trying to control Megatron again, like the movie. This is more interesting.
Yeah.
That's part of why I was questioning things about it earlier, because I'm used to Megatron just wanting to be the most powerful guy in the room. The end.
Mm. His lights are
Look at his eyes. That's awesome. Meanwhile, back in the desert. Oh, that was that Shredder sting I'm always talking about. Bomb, bomb, bomb. I know it's just 3 notes, but man, it's everywhere, and we do it with villainous characters constantly. That last Ninja Turtles movie drove me crazy with it. Look how cool we are. We remember the 3-note Shredder sting. They wouldn't stop, and they played it in scenes that didn't have Shredder in them.
The Matrix leadership is a little snitch looking in this.
Sorry, what did you say?
I said the Matrix leadership design in the show is a little snitch looking, like Carrie Potter's Snitch.
Oh, thank you for explaining what you meant by that, because I wasn't sure I was even hearing what word you were saying. You said snitch. Okay.
Yeah,
I got you. Wow, this is pretty epic right here.
It's just big beams.
He's got big beams.
Yeah, see, his spark's pretty big. His spark's pretty giant.
That's a big spark. But I still don't buy but I don't understand what you mean by, like, just because it's big doesn't mean anywhere on Earth you'd be close to it. It is in a particular place. It would be like saying the same thing with Ego the Living Planet. Like, his life force is in a particular place. His brain. Well, in that case, it's a brain.
Now, the one thing I don't like is we will never do anything with Unicron ever again.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks. You went too big for your first season then.
Well,
I mean, I don't know how big they go later, but
or they didn't get to.
Do they do spacefaring stuff later?
They do. We do get back to Cybertron.
Okay.
But I don't know. I don't know how much it is they went too big too early, or they got canceled, because they do get canceled, or their last season gets cut short and they only get 16 episodes as opposed to the full 24. There's a bunch of stuff. So maybe they had like a 5-year plan and they were going to pay it off. This show is very much kind of unfinished. I mean, it wraps, it gets a movie that ends it, but I get the impression they had longer term plans, much like animated, which also.
Do you think they waste too many episodes in the interim?
Not if they thought they were getting like 5 seasons or something.
Okay.
Like, I don't think the seasons are paced terribly.
Because it's clearly not one story. Like they've some of the episodes I watched seem real kind of one and done.
Yeah, and they definitely do that, and I don't mind that.
Yeah.
There's no way that they could have known that they were going to get the legs cut out from under them in season 3.
Yeah, Chewbacca's Lover. We are going to finish pretty much just after we finish this episode.
So this is the big season 2 cliffhanger.
These streams are real laid back and just us watching stuff and talking about it as we're watching them. I don't want to try to do any kind of a even semi-formal discussion because we've been talking over this the entire time. Thanks a lot, old buddy, old pal.
So, the Matrix leadership contained the knowledge of all the primes.
Uh-huh.
Now that he's lost that, his memory is reverted back to when he was Orion Prax. Pre becoming Optimus. So last thing he remembers is he was friends with Megatron.
How long does it? Wow, cool.
Yeah.
How long does it take him to get it back?
It's the 3-part opener of season 2.
Yeah, and that's not just a gimmicky mind wipe thing. Like that's a sacrifice thing.
Yeah,
that's good.
It's a little gimmicky how they get it back as quickly as they do.
Okay,
but it's a cool idea.
But it's not just, oh man, he's got amnesia.
Yeah.
Well, that's always a weakness, right? Like if you lost that,
yeah,
that's what would happen. You'd always know that.
Yeah.
Oh, he just explained it.
Yeah.
Or he's explaining it right now. And now that he's lost his memories, he can't give us like a big speech. Like he did at the end of the pilot. He's not gonna be like,
yeah.
So now we protect the Earth. Wow, this is a cool way to end your season out, yeah?
Yeah.
Orion Pax. I'm gonna try to remember that. I'm gonna try to get that in my brain. Huh? That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. Well, I can't believe we're already at the end of our marathon. I'm kind of bummed. Having a lot of fun with this, and like I said, at some point I want to actually sit down and watch the show without talking to 40 people in the comments. But
yeah.
Folks, thanks a lot for being here with us. I hope you've been having a good time. Let's go ahead and do one more Patreon check. As I said, if we get past that goal tonight, that $400 goal, I will somewhat begrudgingly do something on Metal Gear Solid, which is one of Eric's favorite things, but something he never thought I would have any interest in looking at. And
we went from 367 to 369.
Okay, well, that's cool. We appreciate that one person. Well, thank you, patron that did that, or person that became a patron. That's great. But since we didn't get past that, I'm not going to promise anything on Metal Gear Solid at the moment. I guess we're going to go ahead and finish up here. Thanks a lot for watching, folks. Hope you had a good time with our marathon this evening. I know I did, and this is just a real fun, laid-back thing to do. Next time, we're going to talk about something that Eric and I actually both know pretty well, which will be the first time we've got to do that with one of these marathons in quite a while. We're going to come back sometime in the next couple of weeks. I don't have a date for you yet. It might not be quite as long in between them as between 60 Batman and this. It just depends on our schedules. But I want to put a little bit of distance between them, but probably not not this week, but sometime the following week, we'll be doing a Power Rangers marathon. And it'll be, again, at least 3 hours. And Eric and I are going to do kind of what we did with Batman 66, except Eric's not going to pick episodes based on things he wants to see for the first time. We're going to each pick some of our favorite things. And Eric, I think we should jump all over the place. I think we should, and everything's available on Netflix. I think we should just make that. I mean, obviously everything but movies, but I think anything's fair game during that. We'll just decide what the amount of time is, and then how we're going to handle like multi-parters and stuff. But I think we'll do some episodes from just whatever shows we want to do. That's going to be a lot of fun. And then that's the last one of these that we have to do as far as milestones that we've hit. We want to do a Buffy one, so I'm hoping that we can get to that goal soon. And for folks that aren't aware, that's what we do with these marathons is they're celebrations of hitting a $50 milestone on Patreon. So we're going to try to get to Buffy, regardless of whether or not that ends up happening. We are going to do a little bit later in the year some stuff to commemorate the 20th anniversary of Buffy, and we're talking about plans for that right now. So that'll be, again, a little bit later in the year. We don't have any set dates for that yet, and we've also got lots of other cool, fun projects planned going down the line. We're working on Batmania, and that's going to start in the fall, and then the Batmania project begins at the end of October. So look forward to that. And so I'm working on some stuff behind the scenes right now that you're not seeing right away. So look forward to that stuff. And Chewbacca's Lover Batmania, I'm not going to give you a specific date for yet, but as I say, I'm just going to be like network television. It's in the fall. Realistically, it's probably beginning of September. I think it's probably, we got to figure out the numbers. Because that's supposed to lead up to Batman. I keep calling it the Batman Year Project. I don't want to give the title away yet, but it leads up to Batman Year, and I don't know if it's going to lead up to it exactly to the day yet, but probably September. So anyway, folks, thanks again for watching. We had a great time doing it, and we will see you again soon with more stuff here on Geekvolution. Tomorrow starts our normal week of videos, our 5 days, and tomorrow I'm going to put up a video from Manos and I about the second season of Supergirl. So if you watch that show, look forward to that. And Eric and I have some other things in the can that'll be up soon, including hopefully this week, Eric, your first episode of Indie Comic.
Doesn't After Hours go up this week?
After Hours does go up this week. Thanks
new episode of After Hours,
and that'll be up tomorrow. So if you we should have mentioned that earlier, because that's another big reason to join Patreon to see the Geekvolution After Dark, a full hour of Eric and I talking about 5 random topics that each of us pick, and with completely uncensored, unlike this, and that goes up tomorrow, and then the preview will be up on Tuesday, so you'll always be able to at least watch some of the best bits of that, even if you don't join Patreon. So we shall see ya, folks. Thanks for watching. I am Captain Logan.
And I'm Eric.
Good night.